Of the memo of understanding between the U.S. and Iran released after President Trump wrapped up at the G7 summit in France. The 14 points include a full ceasefire in the region, renewed talks, and reopening the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump was also asked about $300 billion in frozen Iranian funds that could be released.
We have their money. We have taken their money. It's not our money. It's their money. And we froze it. At a certain point in time, I guess we're going to have to give it back. You know, if we didn't give it back, nobody would ever invest in the dollar again.
The Federal Reserve Board, citing the economic impact of the war, voted to leave interest rates unchanged following the first meeting with Kevin Warsh as the new Fed chair. Fire officials in Washington state updating efforts on battling the wildfire burning near Spokane. One person missing, and the fire chief estimates a dozen homes have been burned. Evacuation orders could be lifted later tonight. This is ABC News. In the Midwest, a line of severe storms targeting Illinois and Indiana with hail, damaging winds, and possible tornadoes, the threat. The man accused of shooting and killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was back in court today. Attorneys for Luigi Mangione telling the judge in his state case that they're petitioning for psychiatric argument to be presented at his trial. ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer on the potential impact.
At the time in which Mangione committed the crime, this is what the defense is going to argue, he had an extreme emotional disturbance. He acted upon that extreme emotional disturbance, and it was objective considering who he is in the circumstances that he was. And if that happens, it actually reduces the penalties that Mangione faces. He could still possibly go to jail or prison, but that's how it changes his case.
The oldest bridge in Paris now transformed into an artificial cavern by an artist. The monumental installation runs through June 28th. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Day 2, searching for a bear that attacked some teens. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. Seattle Sports has the update. Up in Everett, eastbound 526, it's bumper to bumper from the Boeing plant over to I-5, and North 5 slows from 526 to 529. Everett to Marysville up to 15 minutes. That's a little heavier than normal. Seattle to Everett, 50 minutes. We have a new collision in Mount Lake Terrace at State Route 104, blocking 2 left lanes. You're backed up in the North Gate. Bellevue to Everett, 45 minutes. We're slow from Bellevue, starting at I-90. Otherwise, once you get into Kirkland, things start to thin out with just minimal backups into Alderwood. Linwood to Seattle, 35 minutes. You're slow from North Gate to the West Seattle Bridge. Bellevue to Renton, just under a half hour. Your backup starts at 520. Seattle to Federal Way, 40 minutes. Southbound 167, we are packed from State Route 18 into Sumner. Out in Gig Harbor, westbound on Purdy Drive, you're bumper to bumper from State Route 16 all the way up to the Purdy Spit due to road work, which is supposed to wrap up anytime soon here. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. Searching for a black bear that attacked a group of teens on Mount Si yesterday. Sarah Altio with King County Search and Rescue tells KIRO 7 TV they already had a crew on the mountain doing technical training when they got that emergency call.
Our team that was training at the top of Mount Si was able to make contact with the student who was injured by the bear. We were able to remove him to a different location and ultimately pull him out with an ATV.
One of the teens told the passerby afterward the bear swatted his leg several times.
The bear scratched him up. His extremity, his whole legs were scratched up. He could really barely walk.
And the Mount Si Trail remains closed today. Seattle City Lights is asking for back-to-back rate hikes of 9.5% in both 2027 and 2028. The utility presented the plan to the City Council today, saying the higher rates are needed to pay for aging infrastructure and growing electricity demand. If approved, the rate hike means a typical residential customer would pay about $10 more a month each year. Full City Council is expected to vote on the plan this summer. Police say an argument over charging outlets ended with a stabbing Tuesday night at Seattle's Gasworks Park.
The 21-year-old victim was in his tent when he heard an argument between the suspect and several other people over outlets in a park restroom being used to charge phones. He tried to break it up, but the suspect stabbed him and took off on a bicycle. Police caught him a few blocks away, and he was booked into jail for investigation of assault. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
At last check, the man was in serious condition. Well, this Friday's World Cup match between the U.S. and Australia will be like a mini Super Bowl in Seattle. That's according to former Sounders play-by-play voice Matt Johnson. He tells KIRO Radio's G. Scott.
Americans are coming to the West Coast. It'll be the loudest thing since whatever loud Seahawk game you pick.
NFC Championship.
At Lumen Field.
Yeah.
It might not be that loud, but it's going to be 80-20, and the Australians are going to be hyped up. They're a fun group.
It is a pricey ticket to get inside. The cheapest seats are more than $2,000. Now to your forecast. We are seeing sunshine today, highs in the mid-70s. Right now, 71 and sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
How excited are you? Yeah. You were so excited, right?
Excuse me.
Okay.
I cannot speak English, but I'm excited!
I love it! Yeah, baby!
People, this goes to show you that's the feeling we get. That was our reporter on the street asking people how they feel about the show starting.
Nice.
What happens? We're all excited. Some of us can speak English. Sometimes. As long as we don't have to read somebody's last name. Ready?
Yep.
I'm diving in. Diving in! John Curley Show. Street Casino. Resort text line. The number is too long. I realized when I was a kid, there used to be Greenwood 75312. Call for action. I said that to my brother the other day. He goes, you realize that was like 55 years ago? Remember that? Greenwood 75312. Because when they sing it, it's better. Mm-hmm. So 1-888-973-5476. Because I hear the other shows rip through it, and I'm like, it doesn't stick. 1-888-973-5476. Marcus Casino Resort text line.
The 4 makes it stick, I think.
People, they're just like looking around for that. What number is that? Where's everybody on? There's a new study that came out on morally. Where are you accepting of things? How are you on animal cloning? Were you morally against it?
Well,
animal cloning.
For what purpose?
They didn't give you that. Okay. Animal cloning, yes or no?
Yes.
You're in favor of it. Morally, you're okay with it?
Yep.
All right, you're in the minority. Thank you. Human cloning.
Not for it.
Oh, for what purpose? Oh, to find out who killed Epstein. Use of human embryos for medical research.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, the Americans are okay with that as well. Death penalty.
Whew.
Morally.
No.
They're morally, you are against it. Okay, you're with the Republicans and independents. Oh, no, you were with the Democrats. Okay, so you don't like it. All right. They had a whole list of stuff. And I thought one of the numbers I thought was interesting was they started asking about gay marriage and acceptance of gay and lesbian. And so the number was shocking. So here we go. You ready? So 72%, that was sort of the high part. That was the mountaintop. That was in 2022. It was 72% of Americans said they were okay with same-sex marriage, and it should be legal. 71% gay and lesbian relationships morally acceptable. It's dropped. So from 27%, so think about this. In 1996, 27% of Americans were like, no, don't like it. Gay marriage, lesbian, no.
27% were against it?
27% were in favor of it. That's it.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
So then it goes up 44 points. So in 26 years, up 44 points. And one of the most remarkable shifts in America when it comes to public opinion of anything. Of anything. Think about to go from that point all the way up to 72%, right? And then by June 26, 2016, Supreme Court hands down that same-sex marriage is legal, that is the law of the land, they won. So you get 30 years of marching, you get courtrooms, you get ballot measures, you get kitchen table conversations, you get people that were beaten up and weren't hired and discriminated against, and then all the country goes, whoosh, and then you get a big victory. And then here's where, if you dig into the numbers, this is where trouble starts to begin, because winning is one thing, but there's this machine that doesn't just need to win, that's part of the machine that drives the fundraising. So you get different organizations that get in there and, they fight for a particular cause. So they spend 3 decades, right, building a coalition, getting the money behind it, pushing hard for it, getting politicians to win, lobbying, and then they get the victory. But the problem is, once you get the victory, then what are you going to keep doing? Because you still have these organizations that need to keep funding stuff, because you got to have a villain, because politics, you must have an enemy. So the new villain steps in, because you can't raise funds without it. And this is where it goes kind of crazy, because you look at the numbers, they start coming down. So the fundraising machines, they find a new cause, and they get a new community to sort of champion, and they get a new emergency to fund. They add letters, LGB, and then they start adding letters, but the weight of the letters starts to pull down the first part, the LGB, right? And then you have, because the extra letters go on there, the groups that are wanting to be supported would also advocate for men competing against women in sports, gender theory in kindergarten classes, puberty blockers for 12-year-olds, body parts removing, a demand for affirmation. And then this became too much for the American people, or at least these people that were being surveyed. So the extra letters dragged down the original, quote-unquote community. And the numbers start to tell the story. So we go from 71%. Now, today, it's at 65%. This is for supporting gay and lesbian, not just marriage, but relationships. So it drops to 65%. It falls every single year since 2022. So moral acceptance for gay and lesbian relationships at the high point is dropping. So, in fact, this is the lowest Gallup, which has been keeping track of this stuff since 2016. It's the lowest it's been. And you think, okay, so the problem is the country was more accepting of a gay and lesbian people the year of the Supreme Court when they got married, and now it's going downhill. So there is this push, this movement from LGB, everybody following me in this, organizations from multiple countries that are basically declaring they want their independence. It's like, okay, start slicing off some of those letters because we're not really part of it. In fact, this is interesting. I looked to see if anybody's actually spoken about it directly. So it says, we are about, this is gay and lesbian, we are about sexual orientation. This is all we're about. This is from a British LGB alliance founded by gay men and lesbians, and they put it on their website. We have long argued that lesbian and gay men and bisexual people have little in common with those as the TQ+. And they say the forced teaming of same-sex attraction of people from the TQ+ movement suggests wrongly that these groups have something in common when we don't. And a transgender writer that I was able to find writes, this person's not a conservative, not religious, obviously. They said, transgender is not sexuality, it's gender. It makes no more sense, including with LGB, than adding the word female. Sexuality and gender are not the same thing. But like political parties that have the big tent, sometimes they need to be a little bit more, discerning about who they let in the tent. Because if you don't, then those people that fought so hard for all of those years that said, hey, just want to be treated like everybody else, just, let us marry and let us do our thing and just, don't bother us. There, at this point, there's this real struggle to sort of slice off the additional letters. Because I think when Americans are asked about it, they see stuff like this.
Deal with the ongoing genocide of MMIW G2S LGBTQIA+. This is abhorrent.
Yeah. And it's interesting in the survey, the people that had lost the most amount of acceptance? Young people. Yeah, like from 35 down to 18 or 18 to 24. had dropped more than others. And they say part of it is because of social media. Because if you get online and you see a lot of people start popping up with, screaming and yelling about this and that, that particular group, that 18 to 24 that were asked in the survey, they tend to be a little bit more conservative, or at least sort of live and let live, but don't force me to accept something that I don't necessarily need to accept. So sort of find yourself in this weird struggle as the number, and as the letters get longer and longer and longer. That's the only way to explain it. See it all? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. And I've got a lot of friends that are gay, and I asked them about that. I had dinner with some friends the other night, and they're like, yeah, it's hard to say anything, but we kind of just want to, we don't want to be part of the group. We don't want to be insensitive to the group. But at the same time, we don't know why they keep adding more and more letters. Kind of just want to be left alone. There's one group. I went to the gay pride parade a long time ago with my friends Bill and Glenn that lived across the street from us in Magnolia. And Glenn was like, one float went by. It was pretty wild. And Glenn turned to me and goes, oh, my people, why my people, why? I was like, wow, look at that guy. Look at that thing that guy's got on. Glenn's like, oh, my God. You don't understand. The people that have a problem with gay people, this is the stuff that they look at and they're like, see that? Everybody's horrible. He goes, why feed them? And I said, well, I guess it's one of these things that like, look, it's like the kid where parents says, hey, stop dribbling the basketball. And the kid will always, boom, boom, boom. We'll dribble it 3 more times just to show, no, you know what? I'm not going to listen to you. Right. It's that same sort of thing. He goes, I know, but why feed? We had this great conversation. Why feed the stereotype that everybody uses in order to hurt all of us? I said, well, I don't know. But then you wouldn't be on a float. I don't see you on a float standing there with your loafers on. So, and your polo shirt, right? So, and that also explains probably why some of these towns that have decided we're not putting up a flag. We're not going to put the flag up, right? So it's sort of like, well, what does it represent? Who's in the community? Well, we're going to have this group and this group and this group and this group. And who's this? And what's the plus? What's the plus? That seems sort of nebulous or additional for some reason, but what else is in there? You wouldn't be in that group. So that's why you get towns that are like, oh, I saw something online. I didn't like this. I don't like this. And I don't like the fact that men compete against women in girl sports and stuff like that. So we don't want the flag. So it's sort of soiling the whole movement, right? Does that make sense?
Yep.
I think in 1948, Humphrey gets up at the Democratic Convention and says, listen, we gotta do something. We can't continue to have segregation. We can't continue to have this stuff. We got to be better as a people. We have to be more accepting. So in a way, he wanted to sort of enlarge the tent politically, but at the same time, he basically wanted to cut off a bunch of people that didn't want to go with him on the thing. So, and of course, he got laughed out of the place. He cried all the way home. Ended up really not making any big movement. But then when you had LBJ comes in with the civil rights thing, he said, listen, this is really going to cost us a whole bunch of Democrats. We're going to lose the South to Republicans. And sure enough, they did. And that was an example of like, look, here's what we stand for. We're okay with this, but we're not okay with that. No, I'm not equating, racist Democrats with people that are necessarily part of the additional parts, right? The L, the T, the Q, the blah, 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 all the other stuff. But the problem is the people that are part of that additional letters, this big, long, let me get it one more time. This is just the absurd part of it.
Deal with the ongoing genocide of MMIW G2SLGBTQIA+. This is abhorrent.
Okay. It's gotten too big for its own weight, right? So you want to enlarge the tent, but you say, here's what we stand for. And for most, it's just like live and let live. Most Americans are like, look, hey, they passed gay marriage. It didn't affect me at all, so I'm going to go on with my life. It's not hurting me. They're not asking anything of me other than the fact that, that's two men that are married, and they should go into, if one goes into the hospital, the other person's able to get in there. Just the general stuff that society, the rights that they give to people that are married. But you add more people into the tent. What do they stand for? And are they dragging down the rest of us? They could take the whole tent down. Then you got even more victims. So I'm going to ask you more of the moral, where you are morally on stuff, Joe. It's a really interesting list. And I thought, wow, That is wild how Americans have shifted so much on different things. So you're in the minority. You're in the majority with the death penalty.
Only because if we had absolute 100% certainty that whoever it was guilty of a particular crime that was so heinous that they deserve to die, I'd be okay with that if somehow we knew. But there's way too many people that have been executed that you end up finding out a couple decades later. Oops.
Morley, where are you on cream cheese on a hot dog?
For it.
Wow, without delay.
Didn't know that until I moved here, by the way.
I thought you learned that in jail.
Bologna sandwiches. That was it.
Morley, are you all right with poodles and other dogs that have a thick coat being groomed in the summer for heat?
Being groomed in the summer?
Yeah, grooming poodles or dogs with thicker coats in the summer.
You mean like giving them haircuts?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Morley. Okay.
Who'd be against that?
Poodles need to be groomed.
Okay, everyone's in on that one. People from the back seat of the car giving directions. Morley, are you aware of that?
Against it.
Right. When two girls get up, go to the bathroom together, even though only one of them has to void their bowels.
For it.
Okay. All right. Going out to dinner, and when 8 people all order different things and one person only has a salad, but everybody has to kick in the same amount of money.
Against it.
Dental hygienists, when they do the count 4, 3, 3, 3, 2, 1, and they say crossing midpoint, and they look at each other because you have high numbers or low numbers, are you in favor of that?
You know what? I've never had 2 dental hygienists at once.
All right. How do you? Then this leads perfectly to the next question. How do you feel about 2 dental hygienists at the same time?
I think I'd like to try it.
Okay, fine. Thank you. There we go. Thank you. It's all over. All right. Thank you. No more questions.
I'd like to hear more from the actual list.
I couldn't find it. Oh. Could you tell? I was stalling. I don't think anybody knew. I'll give you the list later. In the meantime, what was that sound?
That was me taking a deep breath in
and out. Here's Nate with traffic.
Subaru of Puyallup has the update. Everett to Marysville, up to 20 minutes. Our Boeing freeway traffic is filtering onto I-5 and now North 5. It is solid from 526 all the way to 528. Pretty heavy at times. Seattle to Everett, we just hit 1 hour, exacerbated by this collision at State Route 104 on Mount Lake Terrace. Had a couple lanes blocked. It has been moved to your left shoulder, but traffic is still thick in Northgate up to the seam. Bellevue to Everett, 45 minutes. Scattered backups from Bellevue to Alderwood. But once you get into Totem Lake, this significantly thins out for you. South 5 bumper to bumper from Lake City Way to I-90. North 5, you're going to jam up at the West Seattle Bridge into downtown. North 405, you're heavy from South Center coming off I-5 through the Renton S-curves. It's a half hour from South Center into Bellevue. And Tacoma to Olympia, right around a 50-minute drive. Subaru of Puyallup has dependable, fuel-efficient, all-wheel drive models, including the redesigned Subaru Outback. Find stress-free pricing and offers at SubaruofPuyallup.com, your stress-free dealership. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Give something that matters this Father's Day. Time. At LeMay, America's Car Museum, you'll share stories, laughter, and interest in something new. All ages will find enjoyment from the most advanced racing simulators in the world to children's activities and grab lunch at Cafe El Coreano. It's more than a visit. It's a lifelong memory for dads and kids of every age. It's the gift you'll never forget. Plan today at americascarmuseum.org. That's americascarmuseum.org.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once-yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
Hartley here from Wilcox Family Farms. You've heard the saying, you are what you eat. Eggs are an incredible source of protein and omega-3s. But have you thought about what the hens eat to make healthier eggs? At Wilcox Farms, our hens enjoy organic pastures and a diet of organic grains and flaxseed, creating vibrant yolks, richer flavor, and real nutrition for your family. Next time you're at the store, choose Wilcox Eggs. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Every day, caregivers change lives. Caregiving offers flexibility, rewarding work, and the chance to make a real difference in your community. If you've been a caregiver before, now is the perfect time to return to this meaningful career and continue making an impact. Washington needs more caregivers, and your compassion, work ethic, and ability to connect with people could be the answer. Turn your care for others into a career you'll love. Visit caregivercareerswa.com for resources and support to start or return to your caregiving career today.
Sponsored by DSHS and aired by the WSAB and this station.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You deserve a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Switch today. Get started for $60 a month for 12 months when you add an advanced solution to a qualifying internet package. Limited time offer. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and autopay with bank account required. Taxes and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Eric Johnson here. I covered a lot of accidents over the past 30 years or so, but I never got to say much about what to do after a crash. Be honest, do you know what evidence to collect, what pictures to take, what documents to request, or what you shouldn't say to your insurance company? The Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the roads throw at them. Know your rights and how to avoid common mistakes after an accident by getting your free copy at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Give your attic an overhaul with new insulation from Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation. Stay cool all summer, slash utility bills, and boost your home's air quality. Call now and get $300 off attic ceiling and ventilation. Or visit us at GuardianRoofing.com.
Always exhausted, loud snoring, keeping your partner awake? You could have sleep apnea and not even know it. South Seattle Smiles has a comfortable solution with no CPAP required. Most medical insurance accepted. Call 206-241-5533 today. SouthSeattleSmiles.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. One person is missing in a wildfire that is burning in Spokane County. Fire Chief Matthew Vinci says about 15 homes have now burned in the upriver fire.
An urban area
We were faced with a very serious immediate evacuation of several thousand residences.
Evacuation orders remain in place. Fire crews now say winds are easing down, helping in that firefight. No word yet on what sparked it. FEMA has approved federal disaster funding to help fight the fire. Fire has badly damaged a home in Kenmore. KIRO News Radio's John Rep reports from the scene near Northeast 191st Street and 68th Avenue Northeast.
As I was coming up the hill, you could see the smoke just billowing up into the clear sky. So you could see this from blocks and blocks around. You had firefighters running towards the house, setting up hose lines. They got a ladder, climbed up on top of the roof, started cutting access areas into the roof, all very quickly.
Fire is knocked down, no injuries reported, and no word yet what caused the fire, but neighbors report hearing explosions just before seeing the flames and smoke. The union representing Washington State Ferry's marine engineers are sounding the alarm that the system is not prepared to handle World Cup crowds. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
750,000 FIFA fans are expected to gather in Seattle for World Cup matches. The tournament comes as contract negotiations heat up between the state and marine engineers. Union Representative Eric Wing says promises of readiness are overblown.
Washington State Ferries assured the system will have 20 boats available with 2 extra vessels on standby when we can barely staff 18 vessels on any given day.
Wing says engineers make about 20% less than their deckside counterparts, and they want a competitive wage. We sought comment from the Washington Office of Financial Management, but so far have not heard back. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Quite a day for Sound Transit on Monday when the city hosted its first World Cup match. Agency says it logged 210,000 boardings on light rail, makes it the third busiest day for the light rail system. Look for even bigger crowds on Friday. Team USA playing Australia at Lumen Field, and the Mariners are playing a game at T-Mobile Park later that night. Now to the real-time traffic desk. Here's Nate Connors.
Subaru Puyallup has our update. Seattle to Everett's going to take you an hour. We're bumper to bumper now from Lake City Way all the way up into Mount Lake Terrace from an earlier collision. That has totally cleared now. Bellevue to Everett, 50 minutes. We've gone up a few with a new collision north 405 just past, approaching 527 in Canyon Park. It's blocking your right lane. South 5 into Seattle, we're bumper to bumper from Lake City Way to, South 5 jams up in Northgate to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, 35 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way is at 40 minutes. We're heavy from Interurban all the way to South 260th heading into Federal Way. Bellevue to Renton on 405 is a 35-minute trip. Typical backup starting at 520. And Renton to Puyallup, 45 minutes. We're slow pretty much the entire length from Renton into Puyallup. Gets real heavy south of State Route 18. Subaru of Puyallup has dependable, fuel-efficient, all-wheel drive models, including the new redesigned Subaru Outback. Find stress-free pricing and offers at SubaruofPuyallup.com, your stress-free dealership. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Sunshine for the rest of the week. Pleasant temperatures. Right now, 72 and sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Home comfort from Comfort Alliance. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. And comfort. Where are you on this show? Oh, you're not helping me out?
You got me chasing audio here for 15 seconds.
On Comfort Alliance.
Let's sing and do this at the same time. Come on.
No, you're lying. Well, you're in such a bad mood. You know what'll cheer you up? Nothing. You know what cheers me up? This guy, Brian Haywood from Let's Go Washington. Because, all right, fanfare. Drum roll, something. How many signatures do you have to stop the illegal income tax?
317,506 as of Tuesday.
Whoa! Brian Haywood from Let's Go Washington, trying to set a record for the most amount of signatures. You've got a long way to go because you pointed out that it was 1974 something the people of Washington. 73. They said, you know what? You lawmakers that you gave yourself a raise, not so fast. How many people signed those?
It was 699,098. So we got to beat that. 700,000 is our goal.
It's funny. I didn't get a chance to look it up, but I wonder what the pay increase was. It was probably like an extra $18 or something. No way. Screw you. So they all signed. The good news for you, there's only been a couple of problems, right? Let's see, the one,
right?
Let's see, the one. Who was the one guy out there?
We had one in Puyallup.
Yeah.
Puyallup, the guy got arrested.
Yeah.
Oh, we had one in Woodinville.
Yeah. Sammamish. You had a Sammamish City Council member down there.
She loves us.
She loves you too. Yeah. Wait, here's the one. This is the guy. On Sunday, he picked up right where he left off. The police arrived.
Guess what? I know.
Sorry, I'm recording.
I'm giving you consent.
Sign to stop the 9.9% stating. Hey, child here.
I don't give a
here. Will you sign to stop the 9.9% state income tax?
Millionaires should pay tax.
That was a gentleman with a purse. Did the police arrest that guy? Because he didn't steal anything.
I don't think he got arrested. He's interfering. It's actually illegal to do that. They can go away and talk to people and say why you shouldn't sign this, but they can't stand there and intimidate people or try to intimidate the signature gatherer. And it just has happened so much. It's so common that everyone just doesn't. They're not afraid of it, right?
Oh, but Nick Brown, the Attorney General, did come out. What did he say?
He did.
I got a little sound. Yeah.
Wait. Oh, we got sound of it. Hold on, Brian. Yeah. What did he say?
Oh, good. Beautiful. Perfect.
Hi,
yeah.
I'm Nick Brown, Washington State Attorney General. Want to take a minute to talk about a critical part of our system here in Washington where people have a voice in their democracy, and that's through initiatives and referendums. And if you've been paying attention these days, you might have seen people walking around with a clipboard like this, gathering signatures for various initiatives. I've also seen reports of people being harassed or assaulted when they're gathering signatures, and some reports of those signature gathering petitions being ripped up or destroyed. If you're doing that, knock that off. Don't with our democracy. We need to protect people's right to vote. We need to protect the right to gather signatures.
Yeah, nothing. They curse because stuff gets shared. It's different, Brian. Why do you think it's different? Because here's what he said This is October 2025. He says, under most circumstances, our office does not have jurisdiction over criminal acts like the ones described in the recent reports, but we encourage individuals who believe they may have been victims of a crime to contact local authorities. That was when the initiatives were being gathered for Parents' Bill of Rights, keeping boys out of girls' sports and stuff like that. He seems to come out, this is much stronger. Why do you think that is?
If I'm a cynical person, I think it's because he thinks Bob Ferguson is vulnerable and he might be able to challenge him when they run for governor.
But if you're not a cynical person.
He's doing a lot of interviews these days.
Whoa. Well, wait. Joe just said he's doing a lot of interview these days.
Nick, he's in here with G and Ursula at least once a week.
What are you, a cynical person like Haywood, or huh?
He makes a good point. I hadn't thought about it, but that would explain it.
Wow. Already they're lining up against Big Bob?
He's vulnerable. He's been really weak. He's caved into the unions, and the unions will use whatever weak guile they can get to go there. I'm sure that he's a wedge against. It's a threat, right? If the unions go to Nick and say, "Hey, have you thought about this?" and they go to Bob and they say, "Hey, I heard Nick's thinking about it, right? You need to get in shape and pass another tax increase."
That's the way.
That's super cynical. Brian goes there, right?
Wow. But this is not the super cynical Brian. Yeah, because it's the same Nick Brown that also said that this is when people were showing up. This was journalists showing up Somali daycare centers. Who says showing up on someone's porch and threatening or harassing them isn't an investigation. Neither is filming minors who may be in the home. This is unsafe and potentially dangerous behavior. He then said he directed people to call the hate crime. I didn't think that was a crime, and bias incident hotline. All right, so maybe this is a political move somewhere happening behind the previously smoke-filled rooms. But for you,
and I don't want to be super ungrateful for it, because I actually appreciate if no one like Nick Brown says that, the assumption is you can just do whatever you want. And
right.
So I do have to give him some credit and say I appreciate that he's actually saying that. On our wall, we're
so the guy that went there, I think he was in is Pierce County. Benjamin Lee Brown has been accused of second degree, right? They got him. This was not a misdemeanor, robbery, right? Because I think they might. I don't know if they hit him with assault as well. But what he did is when he stole those, I think there's 22 signatures or something like that. Then you get into constitutional stuff. He could be looking at some serious jail time.
Yeah, that is serious, and I think that part of the attitude of the state leaders saying it's no big deal, or we'll do a strongly worded tweet. has allowed people to not realize the severity of it, right? What they're doing is actually election interference, according to Washington and federal law. And it is serious. And if you're weak on that, you just encourage that kind of behavior. And I seriously, I don't think the guy I think he thought he was doing something noble by sort of protecting the store. That's really what I think was going on with this guy. But he got carried away and he did something he shouldn't have done. And the lady that he stole the signatures from, she gave him 4 or 5. Hey, it's not too late. You can put it down now, right? It's not too late. And he's like, no, F you, and drove off. And that it wasn't smart, right?
Wow, what an interesting take, because just 2 seconds ago, cynical Brian would have never given the guy credit for thinking that he was doing something noble for the store. All right,
but are you in his heart, in his mind,
in his heart and mind? So at this point, with 300 and some thousand signatures, were you surprised that it happened as quickly as it did?
In some ways, yes. Like the very first week, it just came in so fast. And the people that are out gathering signatures were talking about the ease of which it was to get people to sign on this one. Because we've done a whole bunch now, and some are easier and some are harder. This one, they didn't have to explain anything. People came up and where do I sign, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that was, and actually the really interesting comparison is when we did the stopping the natural gas ban, the first 4 weeks, we had 225,000, which was a blistering pace.
Yeah.
We'd been doing 30 to 40,000 signatures a week is what we'd been doing before that. And the natural gas, we got 56,000 a week in those first 4 weeks. And here we're doing 80,000 a week. And so it suggests something much bigger is going on here than I think Olympia planned on, right? People are more pissed off about this than Olympia was hoping for.
The first part is getting the signatures and getting it there. The second part, the challenge for you, Brian, and the rest of everybody else at Let's Go Washington and anybody else that would like to be able to see the Constitution respected, is the money. Walk through what now needs to happen in order to have this thing go all the way into the end zone and have it be another victory for the people of Washington.
In the big scale, there's two really big things we've got to do. Because they blocked the referendum, which is easy, vote no to vote no, right? It's an initiative, which means you have to vote yes in order to vote no, right? In order to say I don't want an income tax, I have to vote yes. So I think the first thing is we've got to get people to understand vote yes, vote yes, vote yes, vote yes.
Yeah.
On this initiative, and that'll take some money and communication and getting people out to hear that vote yes. What do I do? You vote yes, right? That's the big challenge. And we found people on the capital gains tax. They're like, hey, I voted no on the capital gains tax. Like, I voted for the wrong side, right? So, and that's on purpose, right? There's a reason they wanted the referendum out of the way. The second thing, though, and this is, I hear people talking about election integrity all the time. And I have no doubt that it's not, that there's shenanigans and it needs to be looked into. But it's a terrible excuse for why you shouldn't vote. And it's a terrible excuse to say why you should give up. We found, like I've got numbers now on every county on the number of people that have signed our initiatives who then didn't vote.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in one county, it'll be 45,000 people signed, 20,000 of them didn't vote. And I think the second piece for us really will be communicating with those people that signed, that took time out of their day and signed, and get them to vote. So I think there's a get out the vote piece that can make a pretty dramatic impact here.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, KIRO and probably all media organizations are licking their chops knowing that a whole bunch of money is going to be spent. It'll start pouring in September because you're going to hear all of these ads for people that one side that wants to take the money from you and the other side that wants you to be able to keep the money that you so richly deserve. Well, Brian Hayward, congratulations. By the way, I will see you, if not sooner, I'll see you on the 28th of June. We'll be out there with Ari Hoffman. Oh, my God. They're bringing out the big guns. It's Hayward and Hoffman and Curley. All, where are we? Old Virginia Mason building there. 222 112th Avenue Northeast. All right, good. All right.
That's my anniversary, too, by the way. That's my
do I have to bring a gift? You slip that in there?
No. Your presence is the gift, John.
There we go. That's all I need. All right, Hayward, back to work or whatever it is you do for a living as a billionaire or whatever you are. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. Here comes Nate checking traffic. Nate.
Thanks, John. Global Credit Union has the update. One of the busiest intersections in Seattle is experiencing flashing lights right now, and you have to treat it as a four-way stop. That is Mercer and Fairview just before I-5. So we've got big backups in all of our surrounding streets here in South Lake Union. South 5 heading into Seattle, jam-packed from Northgate to I-90, 35 minutes from Linwood. North 5 are bumper to bumper from the Michigan Curve in the downtown. Lake bridges are doing good. Westbound 520 starts to get heavy as you approach Montlake. Renton to Puyallup on 167, 45 minutes. Heaviest south of State Route 18. And Tacoma to Olympia, a 50-minute commute. Your biggest backup right now is about a 3-mile stretch through JBLM. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Nobody wants to see me while Nate's speaking, Joe. Well, you're really off your game today. You better bring it. Why don't you go sit in the corner and think about what you've done while I talk about how closets can make your house more organized. I'm waiting. There are parts of your house that simply don't make sense. I'm talking about perhaps walk into the front door. There's a closet to the right or the left. Can't quite see it in my mind's eye. Oh, I know, it's to the left. And you know what? You go to try to put a coat in there or try to find something, and it's so jam-packed, you don't bother putting anything in there. The same thing with the pantry. Maybe you've got a closet in the pantry, in the kitchen, but again, you can't put anything in there. It's just not well laid out. Sometimes when builders are putting homes together, the last thing they think about is your storage, but it should be the first thing you're thinking about when you notice that just no room in the house. And some people actually go as far as to actually start to rent a storage unit. Don't do that. There's probably plenty of room in the garage and plenty of room in the closet upstairs, and the bathroom could be better organized if Closets by Design came in. 40% off with 15% off. You're going to get custom without custom prices. Think about it, 18 months, 0% financing and approved credit when paid in full. They've come to the barn and done miracles. They'll do the exact same thing for you when Closets by Design comes to your home. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy. Pretty much hands off, They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, it's Jason Rance here again with Greg Nunn from Nunn Better Tax Resolution. Greg, there are some folks getting CP 504 notices. This is not something that should be ignored. You need a professional.
When you receive a CP 504 notice, alarm bells need to go off. And as much as you just want to push that envelope aside, because they know it's not going to be good. And it's not a very good notice to get because it means the IRS is really coming down on you hard. Get help right away. Call somebody that knows what they're doing and get some assistance.
How have you helped?
We help them by understanding exactly where they're at. We interview them, we talk with them, find out. We'd like to know, how did you get here? And then we make a plan whereby we do our level best to help people with this struggle they are having now with their taxes.
Judgment-free.
Judgment-free.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn with Nunn Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN, Nunn Better Tax Resolution.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run, because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-572-3344. That's 800-572-3344.
Olympic Hot Tub's mid-year clearance event is on. Score big savings on saltwater hot tubs, saunas, and swim spas. Hurry, our mid-year clearance and these incredible deals end June 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
Huh? We'll do a little bit of the World Cup stuff.
Oh, yeah. You can do the Scottish people.
Sure, the Scottish folks that went there. Yeah? Yeah, the fans were drinking all the beer in Boston.
All the good beer.
What's that?
All the good beer.
Bar owners in Boston finding themselves running out of beer due to the Scottish World Cup team.
If your favorite beer is missing from a tap,
we've never seen anything like it.
There's a decent chance Scotland had something to do with it.
They like a lager or a light lager, and we got two really good ones for them.
Sam Adams downtown ran out of their signature Boston lager over the weekend and needed an emergency delivery to keep up with World Cup fans. And they're not the only ones running dry.
The White Bull Tavern, there was no beer. The Scots fans just drunk the place dry, and all they had was like Bud Light.
Pretty much everything. We went out of everything. Tennent's being number one.
White Bull Tavern may have run out of Scotland's iconic Tennent's beer, but that didn't stop the party.
The fans have been unbelievable. They're great. They're fun. They're drinking, partying, having a great time.
So you have a drinking kilt for obvious reasons, because it might get some spillage on it. You have a dress kilt, so you always have two kilts.
The Dubliner has also been hopping.
We had our biggest week ever last week.
And it's the one place Scots can still find their Tennent's lager.
Managed to plan ahead and get an extra delivery last Saturday.
I'm sorry. I general idea of what you're saying. Hold on one second.
I got this.
Thick accents.
Managed to plan ahead and get an extra delivery last Saturday, and I was told yesterday the distributor has ran out also. He's getting his today, and the rest of the city's getting theirs tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I got it. Took a little while to get to it. Yeah.
Go ahead.
The distributor, they're running out of this. They're going to call more. The distributor is going to get more, right? So yeah. Oh, good. Okay. So I looked up. Scottish drinking adults consume on average 21.6 units of alcohol per week, more than 50% above what the chief medical officer says is safe drinking. The guidelines are 14 units for both men and women. What's a unit of beer?
It's a pint, laddie.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a one pint is a unit? So they're drinking 21 pints a week?
Yes, laddie.
All right.
That's a lot, I guess.
That's hey, Mr. Scottish. Yeah, Mr. Scottishman, is that a lot? Do you drink that as well?
I drink more than that.
Great. Okay, well, thank you. Now, why don't you tell people about how to drive? Here we go. Here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan?
Everett to Marysville, just under 20 minutes. Just as solid, though, from 526 all the way to 528. Getting there from Seattle is up to an hour, 5 minutes. It's packed at Lake City Way all the way up there into Mill Creek. Bellevue to Everett, hour 10, and it is solid from I-90 in Bellevue all the way into Bothell. Turns into a really thick backup there at Northeast 124th. This stems from an earlier collision up there near Canyon Park, which cleared about 10 minutes ago. Seattle to Federal Way, 40 minutes. Heavy volumes from the Duwamish Curve down to about South 260th heading into Federal Way. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, 45 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia, we're 55 minutes now. Your biggest backup is about a 3-mile stretch to JBLM, but there's more slowing in South Tacoma and again as you head into downtown Olympia. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Rain on game day doesn't faze Dave. He's already got his poncho. Just needs to do something about those wipers. So Dave heads to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner helps him get premium quiet wipers and some hand warmers.
You're all set.
Now, if only his team can handle the elements as well as his new wipers. Get wipers, glass cleaner, and more with no hassles, just help at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466, 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
At the Boy Scouts of America, our oath remains. A scout pledges to be kind, helpful, and brave. We're committed to providing a safe and welcoming environment where scouts can establish the foundations of character that will last a lifetime. Our approach ensures the Boy Scouts of America is building the youth of today into the leaders we'll turn to tomorrow. The Boy Scouts of America. Building character is in our nature. Visit scouting.org to learn more about scouting.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we understand improving your home is an investment in your family, and we're here to help make it easier. With our flexible financing, keeping your family safe, comfortable, and dry has never been more affordable. For more than 20 years, Guardian has earned the trust of thousands of homeowners across the Pacific Northwest with a reputation for quality that lasts. So why wait? Start guarding your home today. Call or visit guardianroofing.com.
John Curley here. Who installs your new cooling system matters. I recommend Home Comfort Alliance for 50 years of award-winning service and top-quality Carrier products that deliver years of comfort. Save up to $3,000 in rebates. Visit homecomfortalliance.com.
Download the KIRO Newsradio app, where you can watch us live or stream us live anywhere, anytime.
How would this initiative, whatever this initiative is, how would he fund it?
Stay connected everywhere. Download the KIRO Newsradio app.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The Trump administration disclosed terms of the proposed memo of understanding between the U.S. and Iran. It calls for an immediate ceasefire on all fronts, including Lebanon, reopens the Strait of Hormuz, and resumes nuclear talks. President Trump says billions of Iranian funds could also be unfrozen if Iran behaves. The Federal Reserve Board, headed by new chair Kevin Warsh, left interest rates unchanged, but the board signaled rate hikes could come this year.
Economic activity is expanding at a solid pace, despite elevated uncertainty that owes in part to the conflict in the Middle East.
Residents along the Gulf Coast are preparing for Tropical Storm Arthur, alerts stretching from Texas to Georgia. In Covington, Louisiana, residents spending the day filling sandbags to help with possible flooding. In Washington state, fire crews are battling a fast-growing wildfire outside Spokane. The upriver fire has triggered evacuations. Fire officials say one person is missing. This is ABC News. Defense attorneys for Luigi Mangione, the man charged with the fatal shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, presented a new argument for the killing. If allowed, it could reduce charges or sentencing in the state murder case.
This marks a dramatic change in Luigi Mangione's defense. After spending about 18 months arguing he was not responsible for the death of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, his lawyers in court signaled that they're instead going to argue that he was going through an emotional episode, that he had a profound loss of self-control at the time of the alleged crime. If they're successful in arguing that to a jury, it would effectively reduce this from a murder case to a manslaughter case and reduce the amount of time Mangione would potentially have to spend in prison.
ABC's Peter Haralambous. In New York, a judge sentenced Gilgo Beach serial killer Rex Heuermann to life in prison without the possibility of parole. In a deal with prosecutors, Heuermann admitted to the murders of 8 women dating back decades. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Coming up, an update on yesterday's shooting involving a border agent in Blaine. That's one story we get to after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
Thank you, Aaron. This one brought to us by the KIRO Newsradio app. Let's start you here in downtown Seattle. We've got flashing red lights at the intersection of Mercer and Fairview just before you reach I-5. You'll want to treat this as a 4-way stop. We have hefty backups on all of our surrounding streets in most of South Lake Union right now. So Seattle to Everett, an hour 5. It's packed from Lake City Way into Mill Creek. Bellevue to Everett, an hour 10. Solid from Bellevue, starting at I-90 all the way past 522 there in Bothell. Gets real slow near Northeast 124th. South 5, it's bumper to bumper from 85th to I-90. North 5 slows at the Michigan Curve in the downtown. Both directions of Seattle's downtown tunnel are packed. Bellevue to Renton on 405 is at 35 minutes. Nothing unusual here from 520 to the Renton Landing. We've got heavy volumes. And South Center to Bellevue is a half hour. You're slow coming off I-5 all the way through the S-curves. Text app to 888-973-5476 and download the KIRO Newsradio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. Crews have now called off the search for a black bear that attacked hikers on Mount Si. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports the animal charged a group of teens about 3 miles up the trail yesterday.
They were about almost 3 miles up the trail near the summit when they say a bear charged them and they scattered. It could have been a situation with a mama bear and, cubs.
Rescuers had to carry those injured hikers down the mountain. Wildlife officials now say there are no plans to continue looking for the bear, but they are urging hikers to stay alert. Mount Si trails will reopen tomorrow morning. A man with a long criminal history is now facing federal charges tonight after a run-in with Border Patrol in Blaine. Agents spotted 39-year-old Nathaniel Muniz Spry of Everson on surveillance cameras in a known smuggling area near the border early yesterday. Prosecutors say when they patted him down and found a gun, he took off running. That's when an agent shot him in the leg. He now faces a new federal firearms charge on top of 9 prior felonies. 6 people are in jail. 13 women and kids are getting help after a Seattle police operation on Aurora Avenue. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Sun reports.
Seattle police say 10 women and 3 minors were found being sexually and financially exploited around Aurora Avenue over the weekend. Those victims were helped by the county's Human Services Department to get them somewhere safe and to provide some basic needs. And they say the 6 people arrested are charged with felony offenses.
Seattle City Light customers are staring down some steep rate hikes. Utilities proposing back-to-back rate increases of 9.5% in 2027 and 2028. Typical residential customer would see their monthly bill rise about $10 a month each year. The 6-year strategic plan is being presented to a city council committee right now. Full council will vote later this summer. To your forecast now, we see sunshine across the region and more sunny skies to round out the week. Temperatures on the rise the next couple of days. Right now, 73 and sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Classic.
Yes, classic. Thank you for that, Nate. Appreciate it. All right, here we go. The John Curley Show. Makoshu Casino Resort text line at 1-888-973-5476. Who's got World Cup fever? Huh? Who's got it? All right, Aaron's got it.
I do.
Who's got it? Andrew got World Cup fever? No? You swollen glands? Upset tummy?
I guess the traffic's not wasn't that bad on Monday.
Okay. Loose bowels?
Always.
Diving in the news. Lingering World Cup. That's what you got right there. All right.
Ooh.
What? I don't know you today.
Hello.
By the way, quick update. I asked Joe during the commercial break, what happened to those people that were on that cruise ship that got the virus?
The hantavirus.
The hantavirus. Apparently, they're still quarantined. Some of them are in their homes, and there are police out front, so they can't leave or let anybody come in and see them. So it's still going on, and a few people are still in the hospital. Look how quickly we moved by that. It was just like, well, where are those? Well, they're stuck in them. And then the news, like, nobody checks on them anymore.
So the one guy whose audio we played quite a bit,
right?
He's kind of the weirdo. He's still in the hospital.
We don't judge here.
He wants to stay there, apparently. There's another guy who lives in Florida who can't leave the hospital because Florida's got, weird rules about, I don't know, being allowed to be viral.
Okay.
So they for some reason they can't guarantee that they won't provide officers to basically camp out inside of this guy's house. So
he's stuck there.
So he's basically stuck in Nebraska because nobody will make sure he doesn't leave.
They were the big news story for like 4 days, and then nobody will talk to him anymore. Now it's all about Iran and Trump. Trump had a bad on the bad press deal and the dire oil situation. Okay, here's what you basically have. A couple of problems is that he's not going to Congress in order to get this thing approved. He's going to go to the UN and get it done. It's a 60 days. Basically, it says we're not going to do anything other than talk for 60 days. Here's what the United States is going to offer. They want to make sure that Iran opens up for business again, and they want the Strait to be open. The United States is going to stop blocking Iran ports. There's going to be a waiver of the sanctions, get open for business again. When it comes to the missiles, Trump said, well, they got to let them have some. I think we have some of that sound. But they're not paying them off. They're not giving them the money, and everybody keeps comparing it to Obama. But there's no need to get into that. Here's the latest on the bad press on the deal. Trump says,
I'm going to get bad press. I know that. Now, if I did the opposite, if I went out and continued to bomb them for another 4, just bomb the hell out of them, I'd get bad press on that. No, there's nothing I can do. But what this does is it allows the ships to go. If we keep bombing, those ships won't be going. And you're talking about $500, $600, $700 million a day. It's a lot of money. A lot of money. That's why the world is okay. It's liquid. It's fine. Also, we run out of reserves in about 4 weeks. There are reserves all over the world, and we would really run out. And there'll be a time when you wouldn't be able to get it. And you want to see bedlam? Oof. So for all those so-called geniuses that want to show me how smart they are, ask them why didn't they blow up General Soleimani? Ask that of the general and a couple of other people that I like very much, but boy, are they wrong. Go ahead.
Okay. Talking about this is, I think, the most interesting aspect of it. So you have Lebanon with Hezbollah, right? They are right there to the north of Israel, and the United States, or at least Trump has called Netanyahu a number of times in the last 72 hours saying, stop it. I'm trying to cut this deal with Iran, and you keep firing these missiles in there, and they shoot back, but you keep blasting away at them. You even have troops in there, so you got to stop it because you're screwing up everything. And he drops a few F-bombs on Netanyahu.
But it's appropriate that we release the agreement, and we did send a copy to Israel, by the way. They've been a good partner. Again, I think they could do better with respect to Hezbollah. I'm not saying they shouldn't protect themselves. I'm saying when 2 drones are shot into the desert and drop harmlessly, you don't have to knock down buildings in Beirut. Oof. They could behave better. And frankly, they could do a better job. I love them as a partner. They were terrific. But they could do a much better job with Hezbollah. On that, I don't think they're doing well. And I feel very bad for Lebanon. Lebanon's been, it was a great culture. They had the professors, the doctors, the lawyers. It was an incredible culture, maybe the highest in the Middle East for years and years, centuries. And for the last 50, 60 years, they have been just trashed. They have been living in hell.
Okay, so the good part of this could be that there is this break between Israel and the United States. There are people in Israel saying, you know what, screw, we don't need the U.S. anymore. We're not going to take their money anymore. We're going to defend ourselves. And if we want to go in there and blast away at Hezbollah, which is part of the proxy terrorists that are being supported by Iran, then we want to keep doing that. Some people in America would like to see a separation between Israel and the United States. When it comes to the ballistic missiles in Iran,
so we'll be working on a parallel effort with the Gulf nations to address non-nuclear issues such as the conventional ballistic missiles, which we'll be talking about, and support. I mean, they have to have some because other people have some. You got to have some. Somebody said you shouldn't give them one. I mean, I have guys. I like some of these guys. But I don't think they're smart. Sir, you shouldn't let them have any missile. I said, well, what am I going to do? Am I going to let Saudi Arabia have missiles, but they can't have them? Yes, sir.
We like when he imitates the other people, right? They always give him the sir.
It doesn't work that way, It doesn't work that way. And missiles aren't the problem. Missiles they hurt a little location, but they don't blow up the planet.
Okay. President's a bit of a sore throat. He's been traveling a lot, doing a lot
by
of
the way,
talking.
he called everybody on stage with him like morons at least 4 or 5 times during
All right.
the
Well, All right. Yeah. Leaving the door open for nuclear. Okay, one last piece.
We've been pretty tough in that. It is a little hard, though, when you say that somebody wants it, other people have it, other adjoining states have it, and you're not letting them have it for purposes of electricity and things like that. It's always a little tough. You have to use a little common sense, please.
Oh, my God. Okay. Here's I'll just say one thing, but then you can say. So there's two numbers that people keep throwing around. 24 billion. We're giving 24 billion. No, that was money that was frozen in a bank account. That was oil money that belonged to Iran. It got frozen. That gets released. The 300 billion, that's not U.S. money. The president is going to Middle East countries and to banks in London and others and saying, hey, do you want to get in on the rebuilding? You could get in the rebuilding. You can get your money back. You get some loans in there, about $300 billion. We're going to get that, seed that into Iran. We can get in there and try to rebuild. You want to be a part of it? It's not the U.S. It is private funds, capital coming in from various Middle East countries, including probably banks coming out of London. So that's the two numbers that people keep throwing. Oh, we're paying them off. Yes, question from the man.
Well, so
I don't know anymore.
And so essentially he's telling all these other countries and potential investors and banks, hey, look, we're basically removing all sanctions against Iran. They're going to be doing a lot of business.
Yes.
They're going to be making a lot of money, so
Right.
you should invest. This is a good time to invest in Iran.
Get in, like rebuilding, just
Right.
like rebuilt Germany.
Which is, listen, the funny thing is just how far we've come since day one when he was talking regime change.
I know.
And this
I know.
country is decimated and it's done.
We're
and all
going to
these
blow
things.
them out of the water. And
I mean, it's just wild. I think the most interesting thing, and not many people are talking about it, but in that second clip when he's talking about the oil situation, and he says, we were about we were going to run out of our reserves in 4 weeks. There's a lot of people online and a lot of people in the petrol business that were talking about that, and I didn't know whether it was true or not, but they were saying, look, this is so
bad. In
absolutely
Oklahoma,
serious.
in those towns in Oklahoma, they were like the barrel's running dry.
Yeah, if we are 1 month away from basically, anarchy on the West Coast, where
Yes.
we're going to have access to no oil.
Right.
And all of a sudden, he does a complete 180, and Iran is a good investment. And I feel bad for the people in Iran that were so hyped by this, that we're like, oh,
Freedom.
this is going to be our regime change. We're going to get out of the theocracy business, and I don't think that was ever on the cards.
You don't think that? Well, I think they thought they could probably do something like that. The problem was you couldn't do what we normally do in other countries, like in Venezuela and throughout South America, and what we had done previously in Iran, which is we'll find somebody that we can prop up that is going to be helping us, right, and helping Europe and trying to cut China away from part of that cheap oil. We weren't able to get in there and work the angles like we normally do. Oh, here's the guy that we like, right? You run the one guy out, put the other person in. They couldn't get anybody in place. They floated for a while having the Shah's son come back. But they did some work on the inside. They found out the people of Iran were not big fans of the Shah's son coming back. So we weren't going to get the people's support. And there just wasn't a sort of a fertile ground for the United States in the CIA folks to do their normal shenanigans of finding somebody, putting them in there, suppressing, and then having that person come up and then work, as a marionette, a puppet for the U.S. and for Europe in order to be able to have the oil flow back and forth without China also being in there taking advantage of it. So this is where you sort of, at this point, you cut bait and we're done. So
I think we got some bad intel. From
Probably.
one of their neighbors.
The good news is, I think, looking on the positive, you know me, they call me Mr. Positive, looking on the bright side all the time guy.
They do, yes.
And if we can get the United States to say, Israel, you guys are on your own. You want to keep fighting because you believe that you're just going to eradicate Hezbollah, and you also want us to go in there and to do your dirty work in Iran and, keep telling everybody, as Netanyahu's been saying, as he did at the UN like 3 years ago, had a picture of this like drawing of a clock or a bomb. It's 2 days away or 2 weeks away or
42 years.
40. Is it? We're a year. We're an hour away or whatever it was. Yeah. He's showing this drawing of this bomb thing. It's like, okay, at this point, we're not going to help you. If you don't want to be the person that's always, blasted away at people, then we're going to separate ourselves from you, and you're going to be on your own. That could be something good to come from this.
Agreed.
All right, fine. And again, Israel has absolutely the right to defend themselves. Yes, but if you're instigating as well, but you try to find some peace somewhere in there. That's all. And you're not going to be able to control the entire Middle East. And when people are like, oh, yeah, well, what about Obama? What about the pile of cash? Yes, there was a pallet of cash, $1.9 billion. But here's what it was. They made it sound like it was something going back to a problem with cash was taken back in the 70s. But really what it was, and they didn't want to say this because they don't want to give anybody any ideas. The United States doesn't negotiate with terrorists when it comes to hostages. But it was. It was a ransom. I think they were at a number of U.S. scientists and some other individuals that Iran was holding. So we flew in, we dropped the pallet of cash down saying, oh, this is money that was taken back in the 70s. And it was like, wink, wink, nod, nod. And then they happened to it, the guys that the plane all of a sudden had some room on it because they didn't have the cash on it. And they put the Americans on the thing and they flew them out. That's that. All right?
All right.
Everybody got all that? It's all going to be on the test on Friday. Don't look at me like I got two heads. Anything else?
Let's hope this thing holds.
It'll hold. But that has to. Iran needs the oil to be sold. The world needs the oil.
Yeah, I think the United States oil situation is way dire than anybody's.
Maybe we go back to the 70s. Crazy time. Right, where the oil embargo and people were waiting in line miles and miles, waiting in line for oil and then to fill up their gas tanks. In Pennsylvania, had this stupid thing where if your license plate ended in an odd number, then you were like on Tuesday and Thursday, and
How long did that go on for?
Almost 73, 70, was it 73 to about almost 18 months? I think the oil embargo was in place, somewhere in there. I know the Dow lost 40% of its standings because it grinds the economy down. You can't move anything. No, everything.
Can't make anything.
No, can't make it. It's oil's everywhere. So yeah, let's hope that it all ends up. I don't have any sound of Trump calling everybody a moron.
Well, he was talking about the stock market, and he said, "Oh, the stock market is the most intelligent thing there is. It's more intelligent than anybody on this stage, except for me." And then he turns around, and he goes, "Oh, what do you think, Scott? Is the stock market more intelligent than you?" And Scott Bessent says, "Nope." And he goes, "Oh, really? Oh, that's a pretty bold answer." I mean,
it's down on everything. Stock futures tick higher after Fed's hint at possible rate hike. And 2026 spur to sell off. Wall Street closes lower as Fed rate hike bets. Yeah, the big move on what they're going to do to try to curb inflation. Right now, they're going to look at it like they're thinking most of the inflation is oil related. It's not transitory, as we were lied to by Janet Yellen. Most of the impact is from oil. It's going to take a while for all of that to get out of there. So right now, the Feds are just sort of waiting to see what they're going to be able to do. But the market was banking on something else. Man, everything is down. Look at that. But as the president says, the market's smarter than everybody else. But
Stock market shot up like a rocket ship. It never went down. They didn't like it. The people, the stock market is more brilliant than anybody there is, including the people on the stage, other than me, of course. Let's see. I don't know. What do you think, Scott? Is the stock market more brilliant than you?
No, sir.
Oh, that's a terrible statement. All right. The stock market is quite brilliant. I know is every time we talked about the possibility.
Yeah. Okay. He's going again. Stock market reacting to just about everything all the time.
His point was every time we mentioned peace, the stock market went up.
Right.
Can you believe it?
Stocks futures tick higher. This is 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard. Yeah. Stock futures tick higher after Fed's hint of possible rate hike in 2026, spurring a sell-off. Yeah. Take the interest rates up, try to squeeze some of the inflation out of there. Here comes Nate checking traffic, Nathan.
Thanks, John. Global Credit Union has our update. We have flashing red lights at the intersection of Mercer and Fairview this afternoon, just before I-5. Treat this as a four-way stop. We have pretty hefty backups on all of our surrounding streets here in South Lake Union. Seattle to Everett has improved a few minutes. We're down to a 55-minute commute. Still packed from Lake City Way into Mill Creek. Bellevue to Everett, hour 5 minutes. Pretty solid now from I-90 all the way up to the Alderwood interchange. You're just crawling through Kirkland. Everett to Marysville, just under a 20-minute commute. You're you're slow from 526 to 528. Here in Seattle, South 5 bumper to bumper from Northgate to I-90. We're at 35 minutes now from Linwood in the downtown. North 5 jams up at the Michigan Curve in the downtown. Bellevue to Renton, 35 minutes. We're packed at 520 all the way to the Renton Landing. And Tacoma to Olympia, we're this close to hitting the 1 hour mark. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
It comes on slowly. Somebody starts to feel some pain in their elbow or ankle, wrist, knee, hip, and then they decide, well, I'm not going to try as hard. I won't play tennis quite as often. I won't go hiking as many times as I do. Maybe they give up on something. And then they find themselves just sort of giving up on the things that they really enjoyed because, well, the shoulder just simply got worse and worse. And you slowly just accept the pain. You think, well, I'll just live with it, some aspirin or something. But then it becomes really bad, and you think, well, I better get surgery. Before you make the decision, I think you owe it to yourself to go talk to Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. You see, Wagner has been practicing medicine for 30 years, and he's got it down. When it comes to a stem cell procedure, he's done more than 20,000 of these. It's a 90-minute outpatient procedure. I can tell you from my own personal experience, probably about 3 or 4 months ago when I had my hip done, this was the best move I've made. I'm able to run again. I feel like I'm 20 years younger because I don't have the pain. Don't live with the pain. Go see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD.com. Find out if his stem cell procedure is right for you. Dr. Mark Wagner, MD.com.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO News Radio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM. Powered by MyNorthwest.com.
Hey there, Dawn Riling from Olympic Hot Tub with exciting news. Our mid-year clearance event is on. You'll score big savings on all in-stock saltwater hot tubs and fabulous saunas. Plus, deep discounts on newly released floor model swim spas. These deals are incredible. But don't wait. Our mid-year clearance ends June 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Jason Rantz here with Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. Greg, there are a ton of national advertisers offering services similar to yours. Why shouldn't I go with one of them?
National firms are an interesting phenomena, if you will, because I hear from clients that tried them initially, and they tell me these stories that are just really hard to believe, Jason. They'll call, and the person that they're talking to is really a salesperson. They don't really know the tax resolution business at all. They're trying to make a sale. And so they overpromise, and they'll hook them with a very low initial fee. Then when that case starts moving down the road, all of a sudden the person's getting a phone call, oh, you need to pay us thousands of dollars to get this thing done. And they tell me sometimes it never gets done.
So it's a tax resolution scheme without any of the resolution.
I really believe part of it is.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn with None Better Tax Resolution. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. This June for Men's Health Month, Revive Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel. A $400 value, including testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today.
Progressive's Accident Response can detect and send help when you need it most, after a major car accident. But other accidents, you're on your own. Like when you accidentally call your wife Mom. When you accidentally say Happy Holidays on someone's birthday. When you accidentally wave at someone you thought was waving at you. We can't help with those accidents, but Progressive's Accident Response provides peace of mind after major car accidents. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. At least 15 homes destroyed, one person unaccounted for after the upriver fire sparked in a neighborhood in Spokane County. Sheriff John Knowles says crews know where to look for that missing person but can't get there yet.
We do have a place that we are going to look for that person, but unfortunately right now that scene is not safe enough for firefighters or law enforcement to search right now.
You can hear those heavy winds in the background. Crews say they are dying down a bit today, which is helping them. But evacuations remain in place for about 1,500 residents. The cause of that fire is under investigation. The 8 victims of Monday's deadly B-52 crash at Edwards Air Force Base have now been identified.
2 Boeing employees were among those killed during Monday's test flight focused on a radar upgrade. 53-year-old Colonel Gregory Watson, a weapons systems officer, and 50-year-old retired Lieutenant Colonel Miles Middleton, a pilot. Also killed, 32-year-old flight test engineer Jeremy Smith, whose wife Lauren spoke with ABC News affiliate KIRO.
He was our rock.
He leaves behind his wife and 2 sons. Cause of the crash might not be known for several months. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
In Seattle, Starbucks headquarters could soon be the site of a small data center. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Sun explains.
Starbucks leases most of the building for its headquarters, and if owners approve, it would bypass the city council's 1-year moratorium because it's not considered a large data center.
Seattle Times reports the proposed data center would occupy vacant space on the ground level. Sound Transit's Link Light Rail saw one of its busiest days ever on Monday. More than 210,000 riders as World Cup fans packed trains to Seattle Stadium for the Egypt-Belgium match. It's the 3rd highest total in system history, behind only the Seahawks Super Bowl parade and the Cross Lake Connection opening. Officials say Friday's USA-Australia match could push ridership even higher. There's also a Mariners game later that night. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 4:32. We check in with Nate Connors.
Hey, thanks, Aaron. Seattle Sports has the update. South 5 heading into Seattle is solid from Northgate to 90, 35 minutes from Linwood. North 5, you're going to jam up at the Michigan Curve in the downtown. South Center to Seattle, just under 25 minutes. Bellevue to Renton, a 35-minute trip. It's heavy from 520 all the way to the Renton Landing. Very typical for this time of day. South Center to Bellevue on 405 is going to take you a half hour. It's packed from I-5 all the way through the S-curves. Seattle to Federal Way, 35 minutes. You're bumper to bumper between 405 and 516. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeways at 45 minutes. Heavier south of State Route 18. And Tacoma to Olympia, 1 hour, 3 to 4 mile, bumper to bumper back up through JBLM. And then more slowing as you head into Olympia. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Dry spell continues for a few more days at least. Mid to upper 70s. Right now, 74 degrees and sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Spring in the PNW brings all kinds of weather. So the KIRO 7 Pinpoint Weather Team uses Future Track to predict it, Storm Tracker to follow it, and Wind Tracker to measure it. One sudden change can pack a punch. And when thunderstorms rumble, downpours drench, and allergies hit, KIRO 7's accurate forecast gets you ready. So you know exactly what's going to hit where you live. KIRO 7 pinpoint weather only on KIRO 7 News. Oh, you finally hit something.
Well said, well read, Joe. Buggies. Oh, no. You can't do anything with this. This is like Al Jarreau doing that song. No. No, you can't. You can't. No, you ruined it.
You can't.
Okay, go ahead. It's a B-side of the 45. It's never going to catch on. Never going to catch on. Something like this.
Terrible.
Okay, stop. Please.
Leaving you plenty of room to get your...
Bucky's Auto Service Center, 16 locations, been around for 51 years. Sorry about that, everybody. It's like George. It's like George Harrison.
Come on.
No, Nate's alive.
What did I say?
Oh, I heard you.
What?
Okay. Here, do we even sign on this, Mangione?
Yeah.
You remember Luigi Mangione decided that Brian Thompson, the president of United Healthcare, needed to die, and people are like, "Yeah, kill him. That's great. Good idea." So he goes out there and he waits for Thompson, I think father of two, to step out of his hotel room and then goes up. And he's such a hero, Luigi, that he shot him from behind and killed him. Well, now it's taking an interesting turn because they got video of it. They were able to say, okay, the gun, some evidence wasn't allowed to be put in there. But I'm sure the attorneys were like, okay, what do we go with here? Because, I mean, this could be death penalty, right? Well, they were coming up with an interesting defense. Let's see if ABC News has it.
Mangione's attorneys basically said they're going to put up a psychiatric defense. They're not saying it's an insanity defense, but they're saying he had a mental defect, that he was going through an extreme emotional disturbance when he shot and killed Brian Thompson. So there is no denying, he's not denying that he shot and killed Brian Thompson. That's essentially what this is saying. It's just saying I was going through it, like I had something going on. It was legally, it rendered me legally incapacitated at the moment to make a decision, which led to his actions. That's this is just how that works.
Yeah.
But the prosecutors were like, listen.
Is this just somebody on the street, or is this like somebody?
No, she works for ABC 7, but I guess that they do their little social media updates.
They were like, listen.
Y'all been talking about this since September.
Yeah.
We don't know. We haven't seen your psych evaluation. We don't know what it says. We don't know who the person is. We don't even know if they're qualified to render a mental evaluation on Luigi Mangione. But like, we need to have our own people evaluate Luigi Mangione. And so the judge was like, yeah, like I order you to do this today. It needs to be turned over today, no later than tomorrow, and you're about to not be able to even put up this defense at all. And then the Manhattan DA's office, they were like, listen, we already see what's happening. We think that they're going to try to use this to delay the trial past September. And then defense was like, no, we're not going to do that.
Wow.
And the judge was like, well, I know you're not.
You'd be great for this if she had puppets. Like the judge said, no, we're going to do that. Okay.
Going to do that because this court is not really going to look favorably to you doing that. So, it's just a lot of smoke and it's going back and forth and it's always a little hot in there.
Okay. Wow. That's great. Thank you, Darla Miles. The defense, known as the emotional disturbance, or also known as the EED, I looked up to see how often they try this. For about 10 years, from 88 to 97, that's the stuff I could find. They tried about 0.8% of the time. Because here's what you have to try to get the jury to believe. And when they do present it to the jury, it has to be one of these situations where they say, well, the person was in such an emotional state that they feared for their own life, or they were in such an emotional state that they were fearing for a loved one's life, and they took the action that they took. They would never have done this It wasn't premeditated. It was a sudden, emotional, oh my God, I'm crazy out of my mind, and temporarily, boom, shoot and kill somebody or stab somebody or do something and murder somebody. So that's the only time. Now, the problem for Luigi Mangione is the fact that he planned this thing. He wrote all about it. And Brian Thompson was no threat to him walking away from Luigi. So the chances of the jury buying that he was in an emotional state because Brian Thompson was walking away from him, that's why I needed to shoot him in the back.
With bullets that had deny, depose, whatever.
Right. So they might try to suppress some of that evidence, but the jury on this one is not going to buy it because he was not in a state where he was not thinking correctly. They looked at the idea of temporary insanity, which is that sort of falls into temporary insanity, although they don't like to call it insanity. So in this case, if they were to get it to go through, it would end up being Mangione would not end up in a psychiatric hospital. He would not be charged with murder. It would be like a manslaughter charge, which is amazing. I'm sure the Thompson family would have a great deal of trouble with the fact that this coward decided that it was important for that man to die because people's health insurance costs were being denied by United Healthcare. The Mangione fangirls, I don't know how they're feeling about all this, but they are out in front of the courtroom.
That's all I want to say. Brian Thompson, his mom.
Who's this lady? A super clean Mangione spoke to the media before going to court. I'm like, okay.
These are his. That lady said something on Inside Edition. His children are better off without him. They need to learn to not.
The children of Brian Thompson are better off without their dad?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Why do we even play these people?
Be like their dad and enjoy the blood money, kids. This has gone on for too long. This should have happened decades ago. Okay, this is long overdue. I have been waiting for someone like
this person's insane, right?
Oh, clearly.
They killed more people than Osama bin Laden.
So if you guys are okay with someone like Brian Thompson being around and that being a part of our society, that says more about you as a person because you look absolutely monstrous defending someone like that.
Yeah, Brian Thompson.
Participates in social murder. That's what we mass social murder. He's responsible for more deaths than Osama bin Laden. And I remember Americans celebrating when Osama bin Laden was killed. It's not like we don't understand heroic violence.
It's not even not even worth hearing that stuff. I'm sorry. There's no reason why have that on.
I don't know. You told me to pull it a couple.
No,
weeks.
I thought there was more, not just moronic stuff. Where's the sound from the theater show?
No sound from that.
No, that's Luigi the musical. A fever dream from hell is what the Washington Post says about it. Remember when this happened and you had a number of people saying, well, it's terrible, but, and even elected officials, people of apparently high regard, it's terrible that he did this, but I can understand why people were upset about the problems in our health insurance policies and the United Healthcare. It denies a greater percentage of claims than others, right? So, yeah, it's terrible that he shot him, but there are a number of people that put that out there, say, well, I could see why somebody would be so upset. Well, that's a problem if, as a society, we put the word but after murdering a man in cold blood. My prediction is the jury doesn't buy this. Because there's just way too much evidence to show that Mr. Luigi really felt that he was going to be changing things tremendously, and that this was the beginning of people waking up to how horrible our health insurance policies are. So away he goes. But it is New York City.
Trial starts in September. And a lot of people think that them even presenting this today is just a means to delay the trial further. But the judge said, nope, not happening.
Let it ride. All right, good. Here comes Nate checking traffic. Get on.
Wilcox Farms has our update. In Tiger Mountain, eastbound 18, just past Issaquah Hobart Road, we've got a crash in the left lane. The backup isn't all that terrible yet. It's westbound 18 that has a 5-mile backup starting way prior to the raging river across the summit to our crash scene. Tacoma to Olympia, one of our bigger backups this afternoon, taking you 1 hour. Here in Seattle, North 5 is packed at the Michigan Curve in the downtown. South 5 jam-packed from Northgate to I-90. Seattle to Everett, 55 minutes. It's solid from Lake City Way all the way into Mill Creek. Bellevue to Everett, hour 10. It's solid from I-90 all the way to the Alderwood interchange. And crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, 25 minutes on 520, about a half hour on I-90. For a convenient and healthy snack on the go, look for ready-to-eat Wilcox hard-boiled eggs. Find Wilcox eggs at Costco, Metro Market, Safeway, and other local grocers. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Hey, when was the last time you inspected your crawl space or your attic? What's the last time you went in there just to see what kind of shape they're in? Oh, never? Yeah, same. I don't want to go in there. Most homeowners completely avoid those areas, but it is important to check on them regularly. It's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and go where you don't want to. Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And yes, when Crawl Pros came out to my place, they realized we had a little problem with our insulation. So they've set about fixing it, and they did a great job. But if you've got the same problem, they'll also look to see what kind of energy rebates are available. Right now, local utility companies are incentivizing homeowners to make their home more energy efficient with proper insulation. And some homes qualify for several $1,000s in savings with these utility rebate programs. So don't just assume your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today and schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection and find out if you've got water intrusion, mold, rodent issues, or even damaged insulation. Schedule your crawl space and attic inspection at crawlpros.com.
Nick, you know what my dad always used to say?
Oh, which thing? Let me guess. If you put anything on a hot dog besides mustard, it's un-American?
Okay, that's true. Okay, but no, about the word worry. Remember he used to say about the word worry?
Yes, that it's not a verb, but it actually is.
I know it's a verb, but Nick, his point was nothing comes from worrying. You can sit here and worry about all the news and all about the chaos in the world. You worry about your health, but nothing comes of it. You have to take action.
Right.
Like, for instance, you and I, we go into Longevity Medical Clinic. That's an action. It's about taking that action. Like, people can go to Longevity Medical Clinic to get the free health analysis, and then they can find out how they're aging and the things they can do in order to slow down the process to have a big, full, rich life so you can enjoy a hot dog with whatever you want on it.
And now worry is a verb.
See, there you go. So it all starts for you taking action. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Meet Matthew Preston. Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's Renter's Insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the four walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone, get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 22nd, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
Every day, caregivers change lives. Caregiving offers flexibility and the chance to make a real difference in your community. It's not just caring work, it's hard work. The kind of work that calls for empathy, patience, problem solving, reliability, and both physical and mental strength. It may be the hardest job you'll ever love. Right now, Washington faces a caregiver shortage, and your skills and your heart are needed more than ever. Visit caregivercareerswa.com for resources and support to start or return to your caregiving career.
Sponsored by DSHS and aired by the WSAB in this station.
Jazz Alley invites you to a night of smooth grooves and all-star musicianship with the Jazz Funk Soul Quintet, featuring Jeff Lorber, Everett Harp, and Paul Jackson Jr. June 18th through the 21st. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
All right, we did a quick check here, the John Curley Show. Andrew does not have World Cup fever.
Nope, I'm nice and clean.
Whoa.
Oh.
What does that mean?
Scarves up for you. Hey, if you're a Frenchman, you're coming to America, what do you want to go see? Do you want to go to Buc-ee's? The New York Times has an article. They're like, please, people coming from Europe, we love you because you're from Europe. Why are you going to Buc-ee's? Why are you going to the Bass Pro Shop? Go to the Metropolitan Museum or
Well, it's because they're in Texas.
Okay, well, go somewhere fancy in Texas. Okay, go to Buc-ee's.
I saw the end of the world in the US, and it's called Buc-ee's. They say it's a gas station, but that's a lie. A gas station has a sad sandwich.
This guy's doing a fake accent.
And the coffee machine that never works. This place has 120 pumps. 120. Why? Are you refueling the US Air Force? Are you preparing for an alien invasion? That's terrifying. And the mascot is a beaver in a baseball cap. I saw grown men taking photos with a statue of a rodent. In France, we have revolutions. In the US, you bow down to a squirrel on steroids. And
okay, he's making fun of us there? Is that what he's doing?
Inside, the aggression. A man with a knife screaming, a fresh brisket on the board. But I have a problem. I wanted to hate it. I wanted to be the superior Frenchman snob. But then I ate the beaver nuggets. I don't know what is in them. I think it's sugar, butter, and pure methamphetamine. I ate one, then I had the whole bag in the parking lot like a wild animal. And the toilets, I have to admit it, but they are nicer than my apartment. You could eat the brisket off the floor in the bathroom. It's cleaner than the hospital. So I have failed. I came to judge and I stayed for the snacks. I don't have the hat, but in my heart, I am wearing the hat. God bless the beaver.
I don't believe it.
That's awful.
Yeah, I don't believe it. How many? Do you believe that's a French accent talking about?
No.
No. A guy from France? No.
That's a guy from downstairs.
Thank you, Jew.
What does that mean?
Yeah,
guy here at KIRO.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Air Force, are you preparing for an alien invasion? That's terrifying. And
nope. Sorry. Don't buy it. How about an Englishman discovering an American high school?
Okay, so I'm at an American high school right now. I've never seen anything like this as an Englishman. It's so cool. Look at this. Look, it's
what? Tell us what you're looking at.
It's literally like a movie. I'm literally in a movie right now.
I'm what? I'm itching a movie? What's he say?
It's literally a movie.
Oh.
Look at the stadium. The football goals. Come on, this is sick. I literally feel like I'm in Back to the Future.
All right, feels like you're Back to the Future. Yeah, so people come here. Other than the Frenchman, I don't believe he goes to, because look, what he has, 50 million views or something. Frenchman goes to Buc-ee's.
I don't know. I didn't count.
What's wrong with you today?
I don't understand.
I don't understand you. You're not the same Joe we know and love.
That's
and
not
do you
true.
notice a difference? Is it World Cup fever that he has? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think he's sick with World Cup fever.
Yeah. Yeah. You're sort of like looking at me sideways, giving me the stink eye.
I always look at you.
It undermines my confidence in myself. I get all shaky.
Just don't take it so personally. It's okay.
No, but I see you normally there's a confidence that you exude, and it makes me feel confident. As a team, Nate then can say bumper to bumper without any hesitation. Andrew can drop in fart sounds with reckless abandon. Teeny, whatever the hell she's doing. You're dragging everyone down.
You're just crapping all over the sound that I.
I'm not crapping on it, but that's obviously not a Frenchman.
I don't know that.
And Joe, you've been barking at me all day?
Yes.
I mean,
Well, you're crapping on it too.
He's not crapping on it.
Yes, he was.
Okay, good, Andrew.
He said the Bucky song was terrible. He said this
It
guy's
was
from
terrible.
downstairs.
Okay, all right. You know what? You need to.
This is all
we
my
need-
effort just being.
It's no one is taking a shot at your effort. We appreciate you doing whatever you do. I don't know what it is, but we appreciate it. You clicky on the keyboard. Good for you. But I'm just commenting on the Frenchman. That's not a real Frenchman. It's not a direct criticism of who you are, what you are. All right?
Well, if
you're not the balding orphan, you're not the aging adolescent who never got the biggest piece of candy, the redheaded stepchild. That's not who you are. When you're in the corner and when the stool's under you and they look at you, the breath that comes from your mouth is not the breath that says, I'm giving up. It says, I'm taking in this breath to be able to win again, to step up. The blood coming down is not the blood that stops you, Joe. You catch it in the corner of your mouth. Your tongue says, yes, I'm bleeding. But you know what? It's strength. It's not failure. That's why you get back out there. And that's why you fight. And that's why when Andrew drops in a fart sound, it doesn't make you feel like you're any less of a man. All right?
That was good. Yeah, thank you.
I don't know.
What's that from?
Nate wrote that. Okay, here's Nate checking traffic. Nate,
all right, our traffic lights here have been repaired and back to normal at the intersection of Mercer and Fairview, so we're rolling back again at our normal intervals, but it has left us with hefty backups on our surface streets around South Lake Union and Queen Anne. Seattle to Everett, 55 minutes. You're solid from Lake City Way into Mill Creek. Bellevue to Everett, an hour 10. It's solid from I-90 all the way to that Alderwood interchange. Northbound 99 through Seattle is heavy from the stadiums up to about mid-Lake Union, and then southbound 99, we're bumper to bumper from the Aurora Bridge to the stadiums. Bellevue to Renton on 405, a 35-minute trip. It's bumper to bumper from 520 through Factoria, and then it slowly thins out. Seattle to Federal Way, 35 minutes. You're packed from 405 to 516, and down to the county line, South 5. We're slow from State Route 18 all the way across the Puyallup River Bridge. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
You know, I used to think all money managers were the same until I spoke with Fisher Investments.
Really? How different are they?
Fisher's investment counselors are dedicated to service, not sales, keeping clients up to date on their portfolio.
Well, they probably just invest in a bunch of mutual funds like I do.
Nope. They build a tailored portfolio based on their clients' personal goals, helping them stay on track for a comfortable retirement.
Well, they must make commissions selling products.
Actually, Fisher doesn't sell any commission-based products. They're a fiduciary, and they believe that's a conflict.
Then they have some kind of complex fee structure.
Nope. Fisher has a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of their client's portfolio. So they do better when their clients do better.
It sounds like Fisher really is different.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Fisher Investments, clearly different wealth management. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Summer means I have a laundry list of exterior home improvements to tackle and no time to do it. Fortunately, the team in the red van has me covered. And of course, I'm talking about Valentine Roofing, the pros that keep me off extension ladders and precarious positions. If your summer home improvement list has a new roof, siding, or a gutter upgrade, you owe it to your home to give Valentine Roofing a call. Once again, they've been awarded the 2025 Best in the Pacific Northwest Awards for Roofing by the Seattle Times. And it really comes down to two things: the best product backed by a lifetime warranty and exceptional customer service. They call that the Valentine experience. It's seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. And right now, qualified homeowners can take advantage of $0 down, 0% financing with 6 months deferred interest when paid in full within the promotional period. Financing subject to approved credit. Call 206 Roofing to schedule your free estimate today. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Always exhausted, loud snoring, keeping your partner awake? You could have sleep apnea and not even know it. South Seattle Smiles has a comfortable solution with no CPAP required. Most medical insurance accepted. Call 206-241-5533 today. SouthSeattleSmiles.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
Standing with Iran today to end the war. It lifts a blockade of Iranian ports, rewards Iran for reopening the Strait of Hormuz, and
the agreement lifts sanctions on Iran, letting them resume oil sales. And it says Iran and Oman will administer the strait, something that was not the case before the war and could open the door for Iran to eventually collect fees from tankers and cargo ships. The U.S. also committing to release billions of dollars in frozen Iranian assets. Iran reaffirms that it shall not procure or develop nuclear weapons. Reaffirms because it made that same pledge in the first line of the Obama nuclear deal.
ABC's Rachel Scott, the Federal Reserve announcing it'll leave interest rates unchanged. President Trump playing hardball with the Senate, saying he will not approve FISA, a key national security tool that's already expired until Republicans pass his sweeping voting law. Judge today sentencing convicted Gilgo Beach serial killer Rex Heuermann to life in prison. This is ABC News. Despite rising prices, retail sales rose nearly 1% in May compared to April, surpassing expectations. Sales got a boost from generous government tax refunds in both April and May, though economists say that cash cushion is starting to fade. The U.S. Labor Department is telling states to take immediate action to combat fraud, waste, and abuse in their unemployment programs, warning funds could be withheld if they don't. They put out the welcome mat in Kansas. Local artist Stan Hurd created a giant Algerian flag out of organic materials and displayed it on the grounds of the University of Kansas, where the marching band played the Algerian national anthem to welcome the team to its temporary home.
We are so excited about just being a small footnote to this larger story of how FIFA and the World Cup, it's not about football. It's about cultures coming together. It's about shared humanity.
Algeria lost to Argentina yesterday. They next head to Santa Clara, California for their Monday match against Jordan. Dave Packer, ABC News.
New details on a shooting near the border in Blaine. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
This one's brought to you by D.R. Horton. Everett to Marysville, we're down to 15 minutes. Still crowded, though, from 526 up to 528. Seattle to Everett at 55 minutes. It is heavy from Lake City Way all the way up into Mill Creek. Bellevue to Everett, an hour 10. Your solid backup starts at I-90, and it continues all the way to the Alderwood interchange. And then, of course, from there, you're going to hook into the North 5 backup. Linwood to Seattle, 45 minutes. You got some crowding in Linwood to get through, and then it is jam-packed from Northgate to I-90. North 5, we're bumper to bumper from the Michigan Curve to the Convention Center. Crossing the lake, westbound 520 jams up about mid-span over to I-5. Westbound 90, you're slow from Island Crest Way all the way to I-5. Gets pretty thick there through the Mercer Tunnel. And down in Parkland, eastbound 512 at Golden Gibbon, we've got a crash. It's been moved to your right shoulder, but it's got traffic backed up all the way to I-5 there down in coming off of Spanaway. Let's see, looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. Visit drhorton.com and schedule a tour today. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. A repeat offender has now been charged in connection with yesterday's shooting near the U.S.-Canada border in Blaine. The latest from KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay.
Federal authorities say 39-year-old Nathaniel Muniz Spry, with 9 convictions on his record, was shot in the leg while trying to get away from Border Patrol agents. A surveillance camera showed somebody walking in an area known for illegal border crossings and smuggling. Agents then found Muniz Spry. When they identified him, they learned he had an approach with caution alert in his records. While he was being searched, an officer felt a gun in his waistband. He's now charged with being a felon in possession of a firearm. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Wildlife officers say they have stopped looking for that black bear that attacked a group of teenage hikers on Mount Si. Fish and Wildlife wrapped up its search today without locating the bear that scratched and hospitalized one of the teens yesterday. The Department of Natural Resources will reopen trails on Mount Si at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning with new bear awareness signage posted along the routes. Supporters of a repeal effort targeting Washington's so-called millionaires tax say they've already reached a key milestone. Let's Go Washington's Brian Haywood tells John Curley they've gathered more than 317,000 signatures. That's enough to reach the ballot.
In some ways, yes. Like the very first week, it just came in so fast. And the people that are gathering signatures were talking about the ease of which it was to get people to sign on this one.
He says they're averaging about 80,000 signatures a week. Their goal is 700,000. Seattle City Lights is asking for back-to-back rate hikes of 9.5% in both 2027 and 2028. Utility released its plan to the City Council today. It cites aging infrastructure, rising costs, and growing electricity demand. If approved, these rate hikes mean a typical residential customer would pay about $10 more a month each year. And it is one of the most anticipated sporting events in Seattle's history. Team USA versus Australia in the World Cup at Lumen Field this Friday. Former Sounders play-by-play voice Matt Johnson tells KIRO News Radio's G. Scott.
These are mini Super Bowls, right? A, the price, B, the passion, the importance, and the sound.
If you want to see that match in person, prepare to pay up at least $2,000 now for the cheapest tickets. Your forecast is showing all sunshine for the rest of this week. Highs in the mid to upper 70s. Could be touching 80 on Friday. Right now, 73 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Oh, yeah, here we go. John Curley Show, that you ever won. Muggleton Casino Resort text line. Joy, I have a feeling it's going to be lighting up after what this guy finishes saying. 1-888-973-5476. Have it in the day! Hit it, Andrew. What are you doing? Warren Buffett, quote, "Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful." Kevin Huber, what are you, my friend?
I'm glad to be here, John.
I know you are, but we're greedy or fearful?
I am optimistic, and I'm bullish on Seattle.
Here's why Kevin is sitting here beside me. A friend of mine, Ed Redwine, writes, my friend Kevin is not giving up on Seattle. He has made a major, major investment into the city. You have to have him on to explain why. You know that people are writing the early obituary for Seattle.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad news out there, but I just believe you have to make a stand, plant a flag, and say this is time for our way up, and that's what I believe.
Were you ever a guy that waited for somebody else to plant the flag, or is this sort of what you do?
I have. I've been through, like I told you, I've been through many downturns in the building and the economy in Seattle.
Yeah.
And I've seen other people start, and I've gone, oh, wow, somebody's doing something. Maybe I should see where this goes. And then a year goes by. Well, a lot of other people are doing something. Well, maybe I should jump on that. And then, by the time you get around to it, it's too late and everybody's doing it. And also, I just saw the time to do it now. And I feel like there's too much bad news, and I feel that it's not warranted for Seattle. It's too much of a gem.
Huber, I got to say something. I can't find anything about your project anywhere. It's like 20, 30, 45 minutes into it. I turned to Joe. I said, I can't find this guy. And I even sent it to a bunch of friends of mine that are in the commercial real estate business. I said, no. That guy's an architect. He does design. He does interiors. You go to his website. You can see all that. And I catch you in the hallway, and you said, no, this is like top secret stuff. It's a gigantic A+++ luxury condominium that's going in. I won't ask you to reveal any more than that. But when I asked for the details of what it's like inside this building, these condos, is it 44 stories?
It's 44 stories.
Yeah.
They're ultra luxury units, 1 unit per floor, and only 64 units. There are some units in the lower end that have 2 per floor. That's in the lower base. And the base is also made up of a 3-story car gallery. And that will feature all the spaces for the owners' Porsches, Maybachs, whatever they like to put in. It's really geared at collectors as well as people who love high design and a beautiful 270-degree view of the city and the mountains.
What if I want to take the top floor? What if Joe wants the top floor? What's up there?
The top floor. There's going to be a lot of bidding on that one. That's a 3-story sky mansion. It's in the top of a pyramid-shaped pinnacle. And it's got an internal stairwell, all of its own amenities, a balcony, and that has a 360 view of the entire area.
Okay.
From 400 feet.
Okay, since I couldn't find you on anywhere online with any of this, you're not just some crazy person who called my friend Dan. I mean, this is legitimate. You have to go to people with a lot of money. So you're probably talking to a number, probably a lot of Japanese money coming in, still looking for a place to go. You go into them and you say, listen, we want to make this giant investment. We want to build this. There's nothing like it in Seattle. And they say, well, Kevin, we've heard that Seattle is on the downslide. And where are the buyers coming from when we are learning that millionaires are leaving the market? What do you say to that?
Well, I say that I'm making a place for them to stay. We need millionaires. We don't need them to leave. This is a place for them to stay. And this is a market. These are expensive. This is expensive downtown real estate in the Denny Triangle. And there's, in many of the floors, just 1 unit per floor. So the price will be high. But that's really the only thing that works in this lot. John, this lot has been a parking lot.
Yeah.
Since the day I moved here, nobody can figure out what to do with it. And I have a solution.
I know where it is. Okay, go ahead.
I have a solution for it.
Yes. So the backers, I'm assuming, as you get the money together, or maybe you already have everybody lined up on this thing, and you begin to break ground on it, do you, as you sort of look at it, once you make the decision, you're going to put the stake in the ground on this, Kevin, do you see things like the millionaire's tax that is hanging out there? What do you think needs to happen in Seattle for it to stop the slide that's occurring now? Other than people like you saying, I'm going to build this luxury building and there's going to be a place for extremely rich people to be able to set up home in Seattle. What else has to happen?
Well, regarding the millionaires, the so-called millionaires tax, as I understand it, real estate is exempt from that tax. So that's one thing that helps.
Mm-hmm.
There was also a rollback on some other taxes that will help the real estate market. So I feel that it's as far as that particular tax goes, which everybody is very concerned about. This is a haven from that.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as what it takes to turn around the city, I think it takes a positive attitude. That's really all it takes to quit letting the negative loop go around and around in your head and around and around in media and social media about how bad things are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you leave Seattle and if you go to another country, like I've been traveling extensively for the last 3 years, if you go somewhere else, you realize how great this place is and how well it's done. And this, I think we've just had it so good that it just doesn't seem as good right now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not by any means bad.
When in your history of being here for a long time and watching the market and being involved in the marketplace and being as a wonderful architect and designer, but now here you are taking this role in. When would you describe Seattle as when did you really think Seattle was just firing on all cylinders?
Oh, well, ironically, the real estate market always doesn't follow the stock market or what you see in other sectors of the economy. But when we had the .com bust, we had the biggest boom in housing. I've never been busier. I had an office full of people working 7 days a week. I have even had a guy who worked all through the Christmas holiday because he wanted to. And that was a time of real boom. Was
You're saying after the bust, like after '99?
A year or two after 2000, like 2002, 2003 was a big boom. And then coming out of the 08 crash, which was horrible, right around, that was a long one too. That lasted 5 years. So around 13, it started to thaw. And those who were left standing were few. And right around the middle of 13, beginning of 14, the credit markets opened up.
Right.
And then things were screaming for the longest time, especially with multifamily. Multifamily went over 10 years, just going crazy until the interest spike in 22 that put the nail in it.
So what do you think if you're diagnosing the patient at this point? Let's use some medical terminology. So we've got some problems. What happened from, I know that the spike slowed everything down. We tried to suck the inflation out of there. That hurt. Also changing in banking, lending when it comes to building and housing and stuff. But what happened to the city of Seattle? If you were to look at its sort of medical report.
Well, I think that it's got an affliction like a lot of West Coast cities. I think there's a drug problem, and that has its reasons. I won't even pretend to understand all the ways that happens. I think that's been a real problem for us. Is just a terrible drug problem, and I think that once we get that under control, it will do a lot in many ways. It will do a lot for the businesses downtown. People will feel safer, because with the drugs comes crime and lots of other things that keep the commerce out of the city and the downtown. And I think a lot of I know that the big nasty statistic about the vacancy rate in commercial space is at a real, seems to be at a real bottom right now. Residential is still strong, and there's still there's still people moving to the state and moving to the city. So if I could stick to my sector, though, I don't feel it's as affected by the general economy. I'm making just legacy pieces for people for their dream place in the city.
Yes.
So it's really much more of a specialized thing, and And I don't think it's dependent upon the ups and downs.
So we speak with Kevin Huber, who is an architect and a developer who, for the longest time, for as long as he can remember, and I now realize where the piece is, you said it was a parking lot. It's always been a parking lot. What's going to be going there in a certain number of years, people will be looking at 44-story building, a tower, and in that tower will be condos, and there will be almost one on every single floor. Down in the first couple of floors, there will be 2 units there. And this thing hits the market. And this is a man who said, listen, let's be positive. As Winston Churchill said, I have no other choice but to be an optimist, because to be a pessimist, there's nothing to do with that, right? So you're being optimistic, and you feel as if you put the stake in the ground or put the tower in the air, that others will see this as sign that, well, someone's willing to take the risk.
Yeah, I would like it to be something positive that people could follow, that people could look to, and get our pride back in the city. We've certainly weathered a lot of different things. The riots were really hard on the downtown, and I remember after we had the riots and all the broken glass, and what I did the next day was I put on some protective gear, and I went down with a shovel, and I went around with all the other work crews and just cleaning up, shoveling up the glass, and cleaning off graffiti. And there were so many people that just went down there to do that. And nobody said a word. They just got together and started to clean up the city because they love the city. And I think that that's all it takes is to not be afraid and just be positive and have some civic pride.
Is this the biggest risk you've ever taken financially?
Of course.
Do you sleep
Yes.
okay at night?
I sleep fine. I do. I know that I have the experience, and
no one's doubting your know-how.
I have a great team.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a great team around.
All right. So, is all the funding in place?
We're building our capital stack right now, but as I explained, we acquired the property Friday, so give us a little time, John.
That's right. Last Friday you got it?
Yes.
So what about the other one that's going in? This was the Holland Breaks Ground and the Elephant Car Wash Triangle. This one is over there at 616 Battery Street. They purchased that piece. They're going to put 422 units in there. The apartments are going to go in there. Then they're going to be a Class A. I'm assuming it's apartments. So they expect to have this thing up and going by early 2027. And I thought this was yours. So I sent it to some friends. I go, no, that's not Kevin. Kevin's not involved in this thing.
No, they're almost topped out on that project. If we're looking at the same one.
Yeah, we're looking at the same one.
Yeah, they're almost topped out, and they have a well, I guess that's my neighbor now. I don't know what their plans are. There's another lot behind them that looks like it could go up as well, but right now it's a staging area. It's a field of dirt.
So this question from Joe.
Kevin, you live downtown. I live downtown. Yeah. Would you agree that Seattle has a PR problem that that casts a way bigger shadow than the actual problems on the street?
I totally agree. Although there are pockets that are dangerous,
right?
But I always tell people it's a real city.
Yeah.
Okay. Any city has a bad area. Any city has everything. It has great cultural institutions. It has great diversity of people, of wealth, and it has safe areas and it has bad areas. That's just the way cities are. They've always been that way.
Agreed.
And if you live and you come down to the city, you should know that's what you're going to get. We're not out in the suburbs.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of that is street smarts. You have to know where to go and when they shift, and it's unfortunate if you don't, but you find out pretty quickly. And I agree. A lot of it is a PR problem. I've been away for a few months. I explained I was traveling. I was also down in L.A. working. When I came back, I walked all through my new neighborhood of Denny Triangle, and it was quite nice, and all the way down to Pike Market. And I know there's other areas that are struggling, but I do believe they'll get better as they sort out what I think is primarily a drug problem.
All right, so I'll give you the last 1 minute, Kevin. We have a very young, inexperienced mayor who a lot of people taking shots at and assuming, well, a lot of the problems start because the mayor is this or that, whatever you want to say about the mayor. As somebody who's invested in this city and will be spending a tremendous amount of time and energy to be able to create this project, which I can't think of any other place, even the Four Seasons when they set up their penthouse, which I think Gates owned that one, and they had trouble selling a lot of those. But for you, advice to the mayor is the fact that you're going to be part of the city. You're partnering with her in her political directions. Do you have anything you'd like to share with her?
Well, I'm happy to meet with her and to work with her.
Okay. Well, when is the I know you just got the property.
Oh, we have a schedule if you're asking about that.
Yeah. So when's the big grand opening?
Well, we have given ourselves a very generous schedule, and it's also to time the market because we do need some recovery time.
Yes. Okay.
And so we break ground in 29 and we finish in 32.
Wow.
We get to tour that penthouse before
I'll tell you
something.
The work that you do is unbelievable. I went through your website trying to find this thing. Your design, your architectural design is beyond people's imagination. How you mix textures is really crazy. But I got to tell you something. This is huge.
Yes, it's the first of its kind in Seattle. I think it's unique to the West Coast of the U.S. as well.
Kevin, thank you very much for your time, and I certainly appreciate your courage and your optimism. So I hope it works out for everybody involved.
I appreciate that, and thanks for having me on.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, here comes Nate checking traffic and Nathan.
Thanks, John. Global Credit Union has the update. All right, Seattle to Everett, we're back up to an hour commute, which hasn't changed much. It was 55 minutes, our last report. It is solid from Lake City Way all the way into Mill Creek. Bellevue to Everett, hour 5. You're solid from mid-Bellevue to the Alderwood interchange, and you're just barely moving through Kirkland. Linwood to Seattle has improved to 35 minutes. Got a little crowding in Linwood to get through, but then it is packed from Northgate to I-90. North 5, we're bumper to bumper from the Michigan Curve to the Convention Center. Bellevue to Renton, just around 40 minutes. You're slow from 520 to the Renton Landing. It is bumper to bumper until you get through Factoria. Seattle to Federal Way is a half-hour commute. We're solid from 405 to 516. And Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, a 35-minute trip as we're starting to see improvement here. Heaviest south of State Route 18. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with more.
24% of businesses are now thinking about leaving Washington.
Traffic.
We are definitely seeing some slowing through the S-curves.
Conversation.
We build it, we produce it, we charge for it.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! Are you kidding me?
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost the house, I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found Tax Relief Advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio, I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax Relief Advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-2578. 800-488-2578. That's 800-488-2578.
Don't wait. Insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Hey there, Dawn Riling from Olympic Hot Tub with exciting news. Our mid-year clearance event is on. You'll score big savings on all in-stock saltwater hot tubs and fabulous saunas. Plus, deep discounts on newly released floor model swim spas. These deals are incredible. But don't wait. Our mid-year clearance ends June 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. If your summer home improvement list has a new roof, siding, or a gutter upgrade, you owe it to your home to give Valentine Roofing a call. And once again, they've been awarded the best in the Pacific Northwest for roofing by the Seattle Times in 2025. And right now, qualified homeowners can take advantage of $0 down and 0% financing with 6 months deferred interest when paid in full within the promotional period. Financing subject to approved credit. Call 206 Roofing today, and remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Mom, she was living on her own and scared. We didn't feel it was very safe for her, and we found Aegis. Love it. Everybody is so welcoming, and she is just so safe here.
She has serious Alzheimer's disease. When she sees me, she smiles, she gives me a hug, and we dance together.
Aegis Living helps you understand your choices so the right decision feels easier. Visit aegisliving.com and see why so many families say, Aegis Living, this must be the place.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better, live stronger. Start now.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz here again with Greg Nunn from Nunn Better Tax Resolution. Greg, there are some folks getting CP 504 notices. This is not something that should be ignored. You need a professional.
When you receive a CP 504 notice, alarm bells need to go off. And as much as you just want to push that envelope aside, because they know it's not going to be good. And it's not a very good notice to get because it means the IRS is really coming down on you hard. Get help right away. Call somebody that knows what they're doing and get some assistance.
How have you helped?
We help them by understanding exactly where they're at. We interview them, we talk with them, find out. We'd like to know, how did you get here? And then we make a plan whereby we do our level best to help people with this struggle they are having now with their taxes.
Judgment free.
Judgment free.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn with Nunn Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN, Nunn Better Tax Resolution.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening. I'm Aaron Granillo. Thousands of people are forced out of their homes in Spokane County, and tonight, one person is missing in the upriver fire. Fire Chief Matthew Vinci says about 15 homes are destroyed after wind-driven flames sparked yesterday and tore through a neighborhood.
We were faced with a very serious immediate evacuation of several thousand residences.
Officials say they know where that missing person is, but they are waiting until conditions improve to reach the area. We're learning the names of the 8 people who died in Monday's B-52 crash at Edwards Air Force Base. 2 of those killed worked for Boeing, 53-year-old Colonel Gregory Watson, a weapons systems officer, and 50-year-old Lieutenant Colonel Miles Middleton, a pilot. 32-year-old flight test engineer Jeremy Smith was also killed. His wife, Lauren, spoke with ABC News affiliates KIRO.
He's been doing it for 10 years. And it's the same routine every day. Like, get up, get ready, kiss me goodbye, and go.
He leaves behind 2 sons. The cause of the crash under investigation and won't be known for months. The union representing Washington State Ferry's marine engineers are sounding the alarm that the system is not prepared to handle World Cup crowds. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
750,000 FIFA fans are expected to gather in Seattle for World Cup matches. The tournament comes as contract negotiations heat up between the state and marine engineers. Union Representative Eric Wing says promises of readiness are overblown.
Washington State Ferries assured the system will have 20 boats available with 2 extra vessels on standby when we can barely staff 18 vessels on any given day.
Wing says engineers make about 20% less than their deckside counterparts, and they want a competitive wage. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Sound Transit's light rail had its third busiest day ever Monday while the World Cup was in town. Agency says there were 210,000 boardings. Only days busier than that, the day of the Seahawks Super Bowl parade and the opening of the Cross Lake Connection. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 5:33. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, getting to Everett this afternoon is a real struggle from both Seattle and Bellevue. Seattle to Everett, 1 hour commute. We're solid from Lake City Way up into Mill Creek. Bellevue to Everett, hour 5, and it's solid from mid-Bellevue all the way to that Alderwood interchange. You're just barely moving through Kirkland. Once you get into Everett, North 5, you're slow from 526 up to 528. Linwood to Seattle is at 35 minutes. Get a little crowding there in Linwood, but it's bumper to bumper from Northgate to I-90. North 5, we're jam-packed at the Michigan Curve to the Convention Center. Both directions of our downtown tunnel on State Route 99 are packed. In fact, southbound 99, you're bumper to bumper starting at the Aurora Bridge. And crossing the lake from Bellevue, it's a half hour on both bridge routes. Westbound 90 slows from Island Crest Way to I-5. Westbound 520, you're bumper to bumper from the east end of the lake to I-5. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And your forecast is looking very nice. Highs in the mid to upper 70s, some low 80s out there the rest of this week as well. And right now, 74 and sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Wilcox Family Farm. Great eggs. And the Wilcox Family Farm recipe wheel. With the names of all the players. Thank you, Jeannie. Spin that wheel, would you, lady? Thank you, little lady. There go the names of all the players. Red, white, and blue. Getting ready for the big... What's that noise in the background? What is all that?
It's called the song. I think it's Al Jarreau.
You know, I didn't realize Al Jarreau died 2017. Yeah, a couple days after he said, I'm sort of tired of it. I'm going to stop touring. And then 2 days later, he died in the hospital. Sorry about that, Nate. Drag everybody down.
Who won the spin?
You did, Andrew. I'm sorry. I didn't lost track of the show there.
Okay.
Get you popping.
I'll just, I'll put an egg in a microwave and I'll pop it.
There we go. Okay. Aaron's like, good. As long as you don't overheat the oil. The name of all the recipes are going to be coming to you in a leather-bound book to your house.
Even that one?
Yeah, why not throw that one in there? Just as an addendum sort of thing.
Nate,
and it's going to go into the wacky stuff.
Come on, man.
What did I do?
You just been harshing on everything
here
the
we
last
go.
couple of days.
It's not.
I didn't harsh. I asked the question.
It's not Joe, it's you. Oh, but the attitude again.
Me?
Even that one?
Did you hear it? Yeah.
Oh
man.
But remember yesterday?
Yeah, what did I do yesterday?
I'm stumbling through a story about a bad, that if dark humor, you're smarter if you find dark. Yeah. And what was Nate's little that was just, that was interesting.
Great segment, guys.
Yeah, great segment.
Wow,
yeah.
this is
maybe
a winner.
Didn't realize his mic was on or something.
Peanut gallery.
He's been in the radio business for a long time, and he knows as a team we all have to be in this together. He never takes a shot at Aaron. No. Nobody ever says anything.
Well, we're fellow news anchors. News anchors don't take shots.
You are not a news anchor.
Oh, you listen from noon to 1 every day.
Let me tell you something. When we leave here and Aaron leaves, and I go, "Who's taking over?" Oh, it's Nate's in there. Old whiskey breath.
He does anchor noon to 1
on a Friday. On a Friday.
Yeah.
You walk into Andrews, it smells like a bar.
Only on holidays.
Oh, yes. It's those whiskey cough drops. that hikers like to use.
Come on, don't make things up.
I'm just kidding.
He's just messing.
What are you doing?
Oh, yeah. Hey, we're still on the air. It's quiet, Teeny. Like you don't have problems. Where's the? Oh, there it is, Joe. Joe likes this story because I tell you, every day you turn around, there is another amazing cure for you name it with Ozempic or GLP-1. Here's what the scientists have found recently. Apparently, it stops violent behavior.
That's today. Yeah.
And negative behavior. So, Nate, you need a shot of this right in the neck. Scientists also, GLP-1 also improves male testosterone levels and your count.
Sperm count. That's fine.
I don't like that word.
It's clinical.
Excellent.
Why is Teeny excited by that?
It's weird.
UW study finds that the drug can treat alcohol use disorder.
And other addictions.
Okay. Nate's listening to all this. The science also finds the drug is, and when it comes to cancer, this is where the Washington Post says this is where it's getting even more interesting. The effect on cancer and how the body's responding to cancer and how the drug is interacting with cancer cells. So this thing has become this miracle drug. Well, of course, Mr. Cynical is like, oh, yeah, well, sure. You know, who's behind all of that? I'm like, oh, here we go. Is it Israel? Is it Epstein? Is he living on some island somewhere? Everything goes back to you don't believe it.
Well, no, that's not true. I just did. It was shocking to me that, and if all of these benefits are true, that's fantastic. I think if it's that easy for people, then that's wonderful. However,
here we go.
If all of a sudden, if there's a shot out there that literally cures anything that ails you and solves any, psychological disorder,
then they're going to destroy it, or they're going to kill the guy that came up with it.
Oh, or they're going to give it to literally everybody, because who doesn't want the cure-all?
Well, then you've heard the conspiracy theories that somebody did come up with a cure for cancer a long time ago,
right,
but they killed the guy or did something to him, and that it's been destroyed.
Right.
Because there's way too much money to be made in the world
treatment
rather than the cure, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So?
But if for some reason, and this is crazy, kooky rabbit hole stuff, and I don't necessarily believe this, but when you start adding all these miracles to this one drug, if they wanted a drug that they're going to put in just about everybody's arm because everybody's got something that needs fixing.
Here we go. Wait, hold on. This is where here it comes. Hit the music, Andrew, because this is it. All right. So let me set it up. This is a drug that affects every single person. Everyone can benefit from this. So we want everybody to get the shot. Go ahead, Joe.
If the shot happens to have some sort of biological fingerprint, some little weird nanochips in it, nanochips that make you trackable from Big Brother, whoever he is, that's certainly one way to get a lot of people tracked. Tag them and bag them.
You say to the person, well, listen, if you want to possibly risk cancer or becoming addicted to something or putting on 50 pounds, you don't have to take the shot. But if you want to avoid cancer and you don't want to end up like Nate, well, then take the shot. And it's always the trade-off. And in return, we will simply be able to know where you are at all times and be able to have an effect upon your health. And then what they say, as long as we're down in the hole, oh, hey, Mr. Rabbit, nice to see you, that you get the shot once, you have to keep getting the shot. Or they find out that if you don't, then all these horrible things, next thing you know, you're doing traffic and then you're crapping your way through a newscast at 6 o'clock.
Noon to 1.
Starting to sound like COVID 2.0.
Yes.
You put it there.
There you go, Joe.
It is interesting, though. Every 5 days, there's a new massive cure that this one particular drug happens to be beneficial to.
Well, I'll tell you, Nick's going to be immune to all of it after I accidentally gave her 40 milligrams of it when it's supposed to only be a small little dose. I didn't bother reading. She should have never trusted me on that sort of stuff. I don't read anything when it comes to, anything other than the news that I have to talk about.
If you're gonna
I was like, that's probably good enough.
Intravenous drugs to your wife, you probably should read the directions.
I got the first 2 sentences. I'm like, that's fine. But it was one of these things like, cut the yellow wire first. but not before you cut the green wire. The instructions weren't clear. It was 40 milligrams as the normal dose for but then like 3 or 4 sentences down, which it was small print, and it said 40 is only administered after 2 months of taking Ozempic. But I didn't bother getting to that. I just, 40, fill the old thing up, bang. And she's like, I don't feel well. You're fine. And that's when I read it, like, oh, God. Ugh.
Yeah, and what were the next 7 days like?
Horrible for her. She learned her lesson. She really did. And that's the important thing.
Yeah, never have John administer my medication.
That was... My son was like, I could have told you how horrible he is and all that sort of stuff. Remember when I had a fever and we didn't have a thermometer, so he took me outside and hooked me up to the Traeger grill?
Classic.
You know the big metal thing that Traeger's got the thing? I was like, here, stick that in your mouth. I'll be out and check back on you a little bit.
Classic.
Thank you, Nate. Okay, here comes Nate checking traffic.
All right, Global Credit Union has the update. Seattle to Everett, 1 hour. Bellevue to Everett, 1 hour, 5 minutes, as we're obviously still struggling on both routes here. Linwood to Seattle is about a half hour. It's a little crowding in Linwood, but the brunt of this is bumper-to-bumper backup from Northgate all the way to I-90. So North 5, you're solid at the Michigan Curve to the Convention Center. Bellevue to Renton, a half hour. You're still slow from 520 to the Renton Landing. Seattle to Federal Way, we've improved to 25 minutes. Just pretty much scattered backups now along South Center down to 516. Tacoma to Olympia has improved to 45 minutes. We've got a 3-mile thick backup through JBLM and then 4 miles of scattered backups between Lacey and Olympia. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate Connors. Parts of the house aren't functioning correctly because the storage is off. And I'm talking about closets. Think about a lot of times when builders come into a home, that last thing they put in is, just a couple of metal racks. That's good enough. In the pantry or maybe in the master bedroom. It's sort of the last thing that they do. Don't really put a whole lot of thought into it because they know a lot of homeowners will end up changing them out. But once you get settled into the house, you sort of adjust to the fact that, the closet's not the best, but hey, we've got all the things we're spending money on. Then you think, wait a minute, I've got a storage problem. That I can't find anything in the pantry. The garage is a total mess because now you start living in the house and realize the closets and the rest of the storage were sort of a second thought. So let's move it up to the top of the list and let's take care of it right now. Closets by Design. Come in and they've got a custom designer that comes to your home. They see what the problems are. They've seen them before, but they don't give you something they've given everybody else. They give you exactly what you need. The storage without the giant price, 40% off plus 15% off and 18 months, 0% financing when paid in full. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's Closets by Design, 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO News Radio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM. Powered by MyNorthwest.com.
Drivers who switch their home and auto with Progressive could save money and time. Other things try to do this, but they really don't. Like the touchscreen at fast food places. It's not like you save time because it takes you longer to use a touchscreen than, I don't know, someone who works there. And another thing, you'd think it would save money because they're not paying a cashier, right? But no, same price. Also, why is there an option to tip? Who am I tipping? Exactly. Anyway, even if you can't save money and time with some things, you could with a Progressive home and auto bundle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are you a homeowner, 62 or older, and realize that your Social Security and other income may not carry you through your retirement years? Have you ever thought about a reverse mortgage? Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at Tila Mortgage, a local company serving Washington residents for 30 years. And if you want to know how a reverse mortgage works or have questions like, are reverse mortgages safe? Will I still own my home? Or do I really have the option of not making monthly mortgage payments? Call Tila for a no-pressure conversation. They'll answer your questions with personalized recommendations and loan options that can safely help you improve your monthly cash flow, increase your available income, pay off debt, or make home improvements. Call Tila today. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Call 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
Insurance and property taxes are borrower's responsibility. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466, 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Nick, you know what's a great thing about going to Longevity Medical Clinic as a couple?
Oh, I absolutely do. When they tell you to do something, you actually do it.
Right. And the same thing with you. When they tell you to do it, because for some reason, when I tell you to do it, you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
I just walk away and roll my eyes.
Exactly. But the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic, the doctors there know, because we do the blood draw and they look and they can see. They know. They hold us accountable.
Yeah, when I'm under pressure and I know I'm coming in, I know I have to work the program.
Right. Plus, we also want to hold each other accountable for how we take care of ourselves because, we want to have a long, healthy, happy life.
I know. I want every day to torture you as long as I possibly can.
Well, I look forward to it. Here's the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic. They're working with you. They're holding you accountable because they want you to have a long, healthy, happy life. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Give something that matters this Father's Day. Time. At LeMay, America's Car Museum, you'll share stories, laughter, and interest in something new. All ages will find enjoyment from the most advanced racing simulators in the world to children's activities and grab lunch at Cafe El Coreano. It's more than a visit. It's a lifelong memory for dads and kids of every age. It's the gift you'll never forget. Plan today at americascarmuseum.org. That's americascarmuseum.org.
Jazz Alley invites you to a night of smooth grooves and all-star musicianship with the Jazz Funk Soul Quintet featuring Jeff Lorber, Everett Harp, and Paul Jackson Jr. June 18th through the 21st. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
All right. Thank you, Sean. Advanced Hair. All right. A little song from the mailman. Maybe long or short?
No, that's funny.
All right. Thank you, mailman. Appreciate it. Next, we'll get the letter of the day first. Take care of all the rest.
Dennis in Seattle says, can somebody tell me why did Brian say shenanigans? Also, who the heck is Big Bob? By the way, I love his burgers.
Yes. Fernando in Seattle says, Nate comes in from the top rope. I thought you learned that in jail. Yeah.
I learned that in jail.
That's right. Nate brought back a classic.
253 says, do you think people in cars with subwoofers also pass gas at the dinner table?
I would say yes. Elliot in Seattle says, I'm with Joe. I'm not taking that GLP one shot. I know they're trying to track him, but if GLP starts growing hair, I'm with Nate. Let's go get a shot. Okay. Wow.
You know that's coming.
Okay.
Jesse B says, OMG, I laughed so hard I snorted. Also, Brittany in Austin says GLP-1s aren't the miracle drug. Low insulin is the miracle drug. Ketogenic and carnivore diets do this naturally, but they can't make any money off those.
Aaron in Auburn says, children, stop fighting. Just go to commercial already. Was it really?
That's when you were giving me a hard time for being in a bad mood.
Oh, yeah.
Hee-Haw Aaron says, isn't John great? I mean, who else can convert a bad mood into something entertaining and have us all laughing about it?
Oh, thank you, Hee-Haw. Helen and Kent says, I hate it when mom and dad fight. Well, come on, guys. We weren't fighting.
No.
You want to hear fighting? There's other shows that do that.
Doug in Mount Vernon says, who knew John Curley's Buc-ee's ads were known worldwide? I'm traveling America to see a Buc-ee.
World Cup. Paul in University Place says, soccer is stupid. It's like ping pong on grass.
David, the Naked Mailbox Guy, says, oh, crap. I drink an average of 4 beers a night, and on weekends I might have a couple extra. You do the math. 4 times 5 is 20, and the weekend I got about 12. That's 32 beers a week. Maybe I have a drinking problem, but I enjoy it. Thanks for getting me home.
W.C. Field says, I don't have a drinking problem unless I can't find a drink. And I never drink water because fish.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Jamestown in East Lake on Scott's drinking all the beer. Don't forget, on their flight over, they ran out of beer on the plane and had to resort to wine.
Oh, poor Scots. On Brian Hayward getting his signature numbers, Hee-Haw Aaron said, I'm in the Kingston Ferry Line initiative signing. Hee-Haw.
Look at
Sent a
that.
picture of that. Yeah.
Jeff and Olivia says, dropped my signature sheet in the mail yesterday. That's nice.
On the Iran deal, Bill in Port Ludlow said, if you believe all that he says will come to pass, we will see. He's never told the truth. It's all about making money for the few.
Warren in Tacoma, Israel wants to control all of Israel and also subjugate their Muslim neighbors. Like the prime minister in Israel, then their mind should be in charge of all the Middle East countries. They are blank and crazy. Can't say that word on the radio.
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
Thank you, Teeny. Joe?
Hang on. I didn't add it to my printer.
All right.
Crap.
That's okay.
I'm going to have to pivot and go with Roger in the 206. He says,
Look at that. There's teamwork.
It's not the right one. Roger says, not only should there be a death penalty if it's 100% proven and you admit to it, you shouldn't go to jail. They should just take you right out back and put you down so the taxpayer doesn't have to pay for the three meals a day for 20 years before you get to pay the price for what you did. To go even further, maybe they should put you down the same way you put your victim down so you get to feel what they felt in those moments.
Wow. Okay. Jury of your peers. Have that guy sitting there. All right, that's it for now. I can't think of anything else to say. Maybe in 10 minutes I'll think of something else.
Good idea.
Okay. Here comes Nate, our guy, doing traffic. Nate, thought.
Thank you, sir. If you're coming into Seattle for the 640 Mariners game, this is what's doing. South 5 jam-packed from Northgate Way to the Convention Center. Plan on 50 minutes from Linwood. North 5, you're bumper to bumper from the West Seattle Bridge to the Convention Center. Southbound 99, it's just a parking lot coming off the Aurora Bridge down to the stadiums. Bellevue to Renton, a half hour. You're slow from 520 to the Renton Landing. Crossing the lake, westbound 520 slows across the lake. You're going to jam up at Montlake. And westbound 90, you're slow from Island Crestway to I-5. And then heading north into Everett, Seattle to Everett, and Bellevue to Everett have both improved to 50-minute commutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
I got a guy. Everybody talks about they got a guy. Oh, you need somebody to do some electrical work. You need somebody to do this or do that or do this. Everybody loves to say, oh, I got a guy. You got to call my guy. I'm going to do it right now. If you got a bad shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, knee, if you've ever used in a full sentence, you have bone on bone when it comes to describing your knee, then I got a guy for you. Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. He's been a doctor for 30 years. He is the guy that everybody goes to if they want to find out more about a stem cell procedure. Here's what you'll learn. He's done 20,000 of these. It's a 90-minute outpatient procedure. And I'm telling you right now, if a shoulder, an elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee is bugging you, for me, it was my hip. This could be a game changer, as they say, because if you've given up, I don't know, hiking, if you've given up golf or baseball or anything else because just things aren't working anymore, then a stem cell procedure could be right for you. Again, the game changer from your man, who's my man, drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. What a week of variety. According to naturalists from Puget Sound Express, passengers saw it all. Humpbacks breaching and lunge feeding, Biggs killer whales hunting, and gray whales feeding near the shoreline. Minke whales sliced through large schools of fish in the Strait of Juan de Fuca, while playful Pacific white-sided dolphins surfed alongside boats in Port Angeles. Add in tufted puffins, sea otters, harbor porpoises, bald eagles, and stellar sea lions, and nearly every trip became a wildlife treasure hunt. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers daily guaranteed whale watching tours departing from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Puget Sound Express also offers tours out of Port Townsend and Port Angeles on the Olympic Peninsula. Orcas, humpbacks, minke whales, and so much more. Don't miss out on your chance to see whales in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Hartley Wilcox here. I'm sure you've heard the saying, you are what you eat. And everyone knows eggs are an incredible source of natural protein and omega-3. But have you ever stopped to think about what the hens eat to make the eggs great tasting and even healthier to eat? At Wilcox Farms, we believe in nature-first nutrition. Our hens enjoy pasture access and a diet of organic grains and flaxseed. That means vibrant golden yolks, richer flavor, and higher omega-3s for you and your family. When you choose Wilcox, you're not just buying eggs, you're investing in real nutrition and real value. Because healthy hens make healthy eggs, and healthy eggs make healthy, happy families. So next time you're at the store, look for Wilcox Family Farms eggs. Taste the difference that starts with what our hens eat. Learn more at wilcoxfarms.com. Wilcox Farms, where better eggs begin with better care. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
Have something to say? We'd love to hear it. Text KIRO News Radio at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Now that Wendy's has these new biggie deals, everyone in the family can get what they're craving, from nugs to JBCs. The parental units can get an $8 biggie bundle, the eldest who think they're so grown can get a $6 biggie bag, and the little one who can do no wrong can get a $4 biggie bites. You know, assuming they have a credit card. No, I'm kidding. We take cash too. 4, 6, and $8 biggie deals for the whole family. Only at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. Northwest News.
Olympic Hot Tub's mid-year